This was a top-grade snake-type beast with 100% loyalty. Its price was enough to terrify almost anyone, yet people were still willing to sell everything they owned just for a chance to form a contract with it. Long Tiansheng was the only one who looked down on such a beast. Instead, he spent just 5,000 yuan on a turtle-type beast with only 1% loyalty. The moment the jade-patterned spirit turtle saw Long Tiansheng, it tried to swallow him whole. But Long Tiansheng showed no fear. He pulled out a low-grade contract talisman and prepared to force the turtle into a contract. That was because he had awakened the ancestral calamity beast system. It could revert any beast with more than 1% bloodline purity into an extinct ancient calamity beast. The system would also force a beast's loyalty and compatibility to 100%. It would then unlock the Beast Codex, Assimilation, and the Ancient Realm Training Ground. To his surprise, the jade-patterned spirit turtle fought back violently. It had absolutely no intention of accepting this poor kid as its master. After half an hour of mental suppression, the contract talisman was finally branded onto the turtle's head. The jade-patterned spirit turtle had officially become Long Tiansheng's first contracted beast. The system confirmed that the contract was successful. Ancestral Reversion, the Beast Codex, Assimilation, and the Ancient Realm Training Ground were all unlocked, and Long Tiansheng also received a bottle of Ancestral Reversion Serum. The serum could revert his 1-star Transcendent Jade-patterned Spirit Turtle into a 2-star Transcendent Blood-patterned Savage Turtle. But Long Tiansheng clearly remembered that the Jade-patterned Spirit Turtle was supposed to evolve into a Jadeite Spirit Turtle. So what exactly was this blood-patterned Savage Turtle? He first pulled out the Beast Encyclopedia issued by his school and checked the Jadeite Spirit Turtle's attributes. The Jadeite Spirit Turtle was a 2-star Transcendent Beast with 50 Strength, 5 Speed, 50 Endurance, and 30 Spirit. According to the encyclopedia, it had slow movement and reaction speed, average strength, a gentle temperament, and complete loyalty and obedience toward its master. Its evolutionary limit was the 3-star Transcendent Emerald Spirit Turtle. After reading the school's entry, Long Tiansheng opened the system and checked the attributes of the reverted blood-patterned Savage Turtle. It was also a 2-star Transcendent Beast, but it had an incredible 180 Strength, 60 Speed, 150 Endurance, and 80 Spirit. The system described it as an immensely powerful beast with devastating bite force, excellent movement and reaction speed, exceptional vitality and endurance, and even limited self-healing abilities. Its innate skill was called Blood Ignition. Once its blood was ignited, its strength, speed, and defense would all increase by a terrifying threefold. Long Tiansheng froze when he saw the numbers. Could this thing still be considered a turtle? Even tiger-type beasts probably did not possess such ridiculous combat power. Without the slightest hesitation, he immediately used the Ancestral Reversion Serum on the Jade-patterned Spirit Turtle. The turtle inside the cage instantly grew larger, and its shell turned dark red. While Long Tiansheng waited for the Ancestral Reversion to finish, his class group chat suddenly became active. One student revealed that Wang Hao from Class 2 had spent 1 million yuan on an exceptionally talented spirit snake, then another million on a purification serum, successfully purifying it into a 2-star Transcendent Jade Spirit Snake. Everyone agreed that the 2 million had been well spent. Wang Hao was practically guaranteed a top 10 finish in the entrance examination and a place at an advanced beast taming academy. Someone else mentioned that Liu Yanrui had evolved a 2-star Transcendent Crimson Flame Spirit Fox with 110 strength, enough to smash a truck with a single swipe. The other students immediately lost hope. How were their 1-star Transcendent beasts supposed to compete against monsters like that? Did they even have a chance of passing the entrance examination? Long Tiansheng merely smiled as he read their messages. Wang Hao's Jade Spirit Snake had 90 strength, while Liu Yanrui's Crimson Flame Spirit Fox at 110. Neither could compare to his blood-patterned Savage Turtle. More importantly, the Ancestral Calamity Beast system could revert all his beasts into ancient Calamity Beasts. Ordinary, obedient little spirit beasts could never compete with them. Becoming the world's strongest beast tamer was still far away, but Long Tiansheng was already confident that he could enter an advanced beast taming academy. Just then, another message appeared in the class group chat. One student claimed that his uncle worked for the Enforcement Bureau and had just seized a group of criminals selling discarded beasts. The Bureau had also recovered a list of buyers. Everyone immediately began wondering which reckless lunatic had dared to purchase one. After all, these discarded beasts had loyalty levels far below the safety threshold. A failed buyer could suffer serious injuries and waste a contract talisman, or even be killed on the spot. The student then posted a photo of the buyer list in the group chat. One entry clearly read, Long Tiansheng, Grade 12, Class 3, Number 1 Beast Taming High School. On May 12th, he purchased a jade pattern spirit turtle with 1% loyalty for 5,000 yuan. The group chat instantly fell silent. Even Long Tiansheng felt his scalp go numb. Once the list was exposed, his classmates began tagging him non-stop and asking whether he was still alive. Some mocked him, saying that a poor kid who dreamed of becoming a beast tamer had no choice but to gamble with his life. Before long, the entire class was making jokes about Long Tiansheng's beast. Liu Ruyan also joined in, claiming that she was lucky to have broken up with him before that poor loser could take advantage of her. She even pretended to be a victim, claiming that Long Tiansheng was not only poor, but had once tried to take advantage of her. Long Tiansheng was furious. Just to please Liu Yanrui, Liu Ruyan was now publicly slandering the person who had once helped her. Her grades had once been so terrible that she had nearly been expelled. Without Long Tiansheng tutoring her day and night, she might not even have survived until graduation. In reality, Liu Ruyan had repeatedly offered to get a hotel room with him as repayment, but Long Tiansheng had rejected her every single time. Now, she had dumped Long Tiansheng and attached herself to Liu Yanrui, who had spent 1 million yuan on her. Some students even praised Liu Yanrui as the real winner in life. Long Tiansheng typed directly into the chat, "Liu Ruyan, keep spreading your lies. We'd better hope you don't run into me during the entrance examination." The group chat immediately exploded. Everyone mocked Long Tiansheng for overestimating himself and demanded to know how he planned to challenge Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan continued taunting him, saying that his vicious jade pattern spirit turtle was nothing but a discarded beast purchased for 5,000 yuan. She even declared that her light feather chick would devour his turtle. Long Tiansheng was about to fire back when a system notification suddenly sounded. The 2-star, transcendent blood pattern savage turtle had completed its ancestral reversion. He immediately put down his phone and looked toward the cage. The metal bars had been completely crushed apart, while the turtle had grown several times larger and developed rows of rough spikes across its back. Its eyes glowed with wild primal light. Only then did Long Tiansheng realize that although the savage turtle had grown far stronger, it had also become much calmer. Long Tiansheng tested it with several commands. Whether he ordered it to extend its head, turn around, or move backward, it obeyed instantly. This was the system's additional power. Even a beast carrying the bloodline of an ancient calamity beast had no choice but to obey Long Tiansheng completely. Long Tiansheng quickly covered his mouth. Ever since the calamity beast bloodline had disappeared from the world, any remaining trace of it had become an absolute taboo in human society. The law clearly stated that every calamity beast had to be exterminated immediately. That meant Long Tiansheng could never allow anyone to discover his system. He continued checking the other system functions, only to find the ancient realm training ground grayed out. Activating it once would cost 10,000 yuan. After opening the description, Long Tiansheng discovered that it was a real combat training space built directly into the system. A normal beast combat facility charged more than 100,000 yuan per session. Compared to that, 10,000 yuan was surprisingly affordable. The entrance examination consisted of 3 stages. The first tested a beast's aptitude and compatibility, the second tested its rank, and the third was the most brutal of all, actual combat. Every year, many beasts died during the combat examination. There were only 2 ways to gain enough real battle experience beforehand. The first was to enter an actual restricted zone, but that method was so dangerous that survival was nearly impossible. The second was to train at a man-made beast combat facility, where both the beast tamer and the beast could receive proper combat training. Unfortunately, with the entrance examination approaching, wealthy students had already reserved every available facility. Long Tiansheng therefore needed to earn 10,000 yuan as quickly as possible, activate the ancient realm training ground, and improve both his and the savage turtle's combat abilities. He headed to the Jiangcheng Guild, planning to earn money through basic jobs such as beast sales or taming assignments. After searching for a long time, however, the only suitable listing he found was for a beast combat trainer. These jobs were usually posted by students who wanted better examination results but could not afford formal combat facilities, forcing them to hire trainers for private sessions. Long Tiansheng quickly selected the highest paying assignment. For someone in his situation, the job seemed almost perfect. He accepted it immediately and went to the counter to complete the paperwork. The receptionist was a woman in her early 20s, but the moment she saw which assignment he had chosen, her expression became strange. Long Tiansheng had already considered the risks. The client's beast was the same rank as his blood pattern savage turtle, making it a perfect opponent for training, so he confidently confirmed his decision. The receptionist was hesitant, but the assignment had been posted for a long time without attracting a suitable candidate. The wealthy client was already growing impatient. More importantly, the client's status was far too high for the receptionist to offend. In the end, she had no choice but to approve the request. Long Tiansheng left the guild and headed toward the assignment location. The receptionist watched him leave and sighed, hoping that he would return alive. He soon reached the address, only to be stunned by the luxurious estate before him. The client clearly came from an extremely powerful family. To conceal his identity, Long Tiansheng quickly put on a black robe. There was a good chance the client also attended No. 1 Beast Taming High School. Once his disguise was ready, a guard escorted him inside the estate. The moment Long Tiansheng entered, the heavy scent of blood struck him. He immediately recognized it as beast blood, and it definitely had not come from only 1 or 2 beasts. The guard casually revealed that Long Tiansheng was already the 13th person to accept the assignment. Every trainer before him had suffered terribly. Before the guard could finish his next sentence, an overwhelming pressure slammed him to the ground. A female warrior slowly approached and spoke in an icy voice. "A servant like you has no right to gossip about the young lady." Her armor was clearly worth a fortune, and the blood energy radiating from her body proved that she was at least a 4th-tier warrior. The female warrior then escorted Long Tiansheng to the training field. The smell of blood was even stronger there, and his nerves immediately tightened. A young woman holding a short sword turned toward him. Long Tiansheng instantly recognized her as Su Qing, the most beautiful and talented student in the entire school. Su Qing was a genius who had awakened an all-attribute beast-taming talent. Her father was also the ruler of an entire state, governing 22 major cities and more than 1 million people. No one knew why Su Qing had come to a small place like Jiangcheng, but Long Tiansheng knew that someone with her background could not possibly possess an ordinary beast. Realizing this, he turned around and tried to leave. Before he could take more than a step, a female guard blocked his path. She coldly reminded him that once he accepted the assignment, he was required to participate in the battle. Long Tiansheng could only turn back toward Su Qing. "Could you go easy on me?" Su Qing merely flicked her fingers. A bait card shot past Long Tiansheng's cheek like a blade. The card embedded itself in the doorframe. Su Qing explained that it contained 1 million yuan, and if Long Tiansheng's beast died during the battle, the money would be his. Long Tiansheng could not help muttering, as expected of Princess Su. She really is generous. The moment Su Qing heard that nickname, she frowned. Long Tiansheng panicked, wondering whether she had recognized him, and quickly covered his mouth. Just then, the female guard returned with another person. The next combat trainer had already arrived. Long Tiansheng looked up and discovered that it was Wang Hao from Class 2. Wang Hao had apparently accepted the same assignment. Long Tiansheng willingly stepped aside and suggested that Wang Hao fight first. Wang Hao gave him a contemptuous glance before confidently entering the training field. A moment later, the Jade Spirit Snake appeared before everyone. Its cyan scales looked exceptionally durable. Su Qing then summoned her own beast. Light flashed from her beast-taming space, and an elegant fox slowly stepped out. The fox radiated a strange 9-colored glow. The expressions of both Long Tiansheng and Wang Hao changed instantly. This was the 9-colored fox, a powerful beast ranked 33rd on the heaven ranking. The world's 3,600 known beast species were divided among 4 rankings: heaven, earth, mystic, and yellow. Only the 100 species with the greatest potential could enter the heaven ranking. With the 9-colored fox ranked 33rd, it was unquestionably among the strongest of the strong. Su Qing told Long Tiansheng and Wang Hao to attack together, but Wang Hao immediately refused. He declared that he did not need anyone's help and wanted a fair one-on-one battle against Su Qing. The forest environment favored his Jade Spirit Snake. Under Wang Hao's command, it quickly disappeared into the dense vegetation, while the 9-colored fox searched for its trail. The Jade Spirit Snake suddenly launched an ambush. The 9-colored fox slightly leaped over the attack. Its 9 differently colored tails transformed into razor-sharp blades and shot forward. The tail blades swept across the battlefield and tore open the Jade Spirit Snake's flesh. Wang Hao desperately ordered his snake to dodge, but it instead curled into a defensive ball. This was a classic reaction caused by low trust. The Jade Spirit Snake stopped obeying Wang Hao and began following its own survival instincts. The 9-colored fox unleashed a brutal assault and continued until the Jade Spirit Snake lost consciousness. Its final tail blade stopped directly above the snake's most vulnerable point. The battle was over. Su Qing coldly explained that she had spared the Jade Spirit Snake only because Wang Hao still needed it for the entrance examination. Wang Hao collapsed to his knees in despair. The Jade Spirit Snake could not possibly recover in time, which meant his entrance examination was already ruined. Su Qing then turned toward Long Tiansheng. He immediately formed a hand seal and summoned the blood-patterned savage turtle. Su Qing was surprised at first, but her expression quickly turned to disappointment. She ordered the guild to improve its screening process and stop sending just anyone to her estate. When Wang Hao saw that Long Tiansheng had summoned a turtle, he immediately began gloating. He mocked Long Tiansheng, saying that even a turtle-type beast known for its defense would suffer a worse defeat than his jade spirit snake. Long Tiansheng calmly replied, "We won't know until they fight." After entering the training field, the blood-patterned savage turtle made no attempt to hide. Instead, it swaggered directly into the nine-colored fox's path. The fox's tail blade slammed into its shell, sending sparks everywhere, yet the attack left behind only a faint, white mark. Long Tiansheng immediately relaxed. The savage turtle's shell was even harder than he had expected, and for once, genuine surprise appeared on Su Qing's face. The nine-colored fox continued attacking as time slowly passed. When Long Tiansheng checked the time, he suddenly realized something. He was earning 10,000 yuan per hour without doing anything. There was no reason to end the battle quickly. 2 hours later, the nine-colored fox was completely exhausted. Its face even displayed an almost human look of disbelief. Meanwhile, the blood-patterned savage turtle remained inside its shell as if it had merely taken a comfortable nap. Su Qing's face had turned pale because the prolonged battle was draining her mental energy. However, her compatibility with the nine-colored fox was steadily improving. She suddenly ordered Long Tiansheng to make his beast move. She wanted a much more intense battle. Long Tiansheng had already earned nearly 30,000 yuan, so he was naturally reluctant. The assignment had never required him to launch an active attack. Besides, if the blood-patterned savage turtle knocked out Su Qing's fox, the training session would end early. Su Qing laughed in anger. "Knock it out? You think you can do that?" She then offered Long Tiansheng an additional 100,000 yuan if he could knock down the nine-colored fox even once. Long Tiansheng's eyes immediately lit up. "Do you mean that?" Su Qing was already fired up. She pouted and replied, "I always keep my word." Long Tiansheng immediately shouted, "Then it's a deal. Let's see whether your nine-colored fox is stronger or my turtle's shell is tougher." Wang Hao continued talking arrogantly from the sidelines. He was certain that once the turtle tried to attack, it would suffer an even worse defeat than his jade spirit snake. At that moment, the blood-patterned savage turtle finally emerged from its shell. Its vicious appearance instantly startled both Su Qing and the nine-colored fox. Su Qing could not understand it. Long Tiansheng's turtle was completely different from an ordinary spirit beast. It looked more like a savage predator wearing a turtle shell. Long Tiansheng smiled faintly. "You don't need to worry about that." The nine-colored fox immediately raced through the forest and quickly circled behind the blood-patterned savage turtle. But at that exact moment, the savage turtle moved. It spun around at astonishing speed and unleashed a tearing claw strike directly at the nine-colored fox. Sparks exploded across the battlefield. The savage turtle then charged forward with overwhelming momentum and instantly caught up to the fox. Both Su Qing and the nine-colored fox were stunned. Su Qing could not help wondering whether this was actually a lightning turtle or whether she was still dreaming. Wang Hao's mouth fell open. He could not believe that a turtle was capable of such speed. Su Qing hurriedly warned the nine-colored fox, but it was already too late. The savage turtle's claw slammed into the fox and launched it across the field. It crashed through several trees before finally stopping. But the blood-patterned savage turtle had no intention of ending its assault. It opened its enormous jaws and prepared to unleash savage bite. The nine-colored fox barely dodged. A tree trunk more than 3 feet thick behind it was instantly bitten apart. Wang Hao stared in disbelief. Was this really a turtle? Or was it a savage tiger wearing a shell? Its ferocious assault created an almost unstoppable sense of pressure. The blood-patterned savage turtle continued chasing the nine-colored fox. As the fox was about to be caught again, Su Qing immediately ordered it to activate its innate skill, Enchanted Blade. The nine-colored fox's tail blades were instantly coated in blazing red fire energy. Long Tiansheng immediately understood why the nine-colored fox ranked on the heaven ranking. It could wield wind, fire, thunder, lightning, and 5 other magical elements. A fire-enchanted tail blade struck the savage turtle's shell and finally left behind a blackened burn mark. Seeing that the attack had worked, Su Qing finally breathed a sigh of relief. 30% of the nine-colored fox's enchanted attack was mental damage. Ordinary beasts could not withstand that agony and would often break free from their tamer's control. As long as the blood-patterned savage turtle fled the training field, Su Qing would win the battle. Most beast tamers would choose to calm their beasts in this situation. Long Tiansheng knew that continuing to pressure the savage turtle was risky, but he still gritted his teeth and ordered, "Push forward and tear it apart." The blood-patterned savage turtle charged through the sea of flames, ignored the scorching heat, and clamped its jaws around the nine-colored fox. It immediately activated Savage Bite, pinned the nine-colored fox to the ground, and began slamming it back and forth. Su Qing stared in complete shock. Ever since the nine-colored fox had evolved into a 2-star transcendent beast, no opponent of the same rank had ever beaten it this badly. The female guard hurriedly ended the training session. "That's enough. Stop." The moment Long Tiansheng gave the order, the blood-patterned savage turtle threw the nine-colored fox straight out of the field. Wang Hao hurriedly packed his things and quietly tried to slip away. The battle had terrified him. He had never seen such a vicious turtle before. More importantly, he feared that Su Qing might lose her temper afterward and drag him into the mess. Long Tiansheng looked directly at Su Qing. "This counts as my victory, right?" Su Qing nodded and ordered the female guard to pay him. She then rushed over to examine the nine-colored fox's injuries. When she saw its battered body, Su Qing could no longer hold back her tears. Long Tiansheng could barely believe it when he received 130,000 yuan. No wonder everyone said beast tamers made incredible money. He took the payment and prepared to leave, but the moment he turned around, a voice came from behind him. "Long Tiansheng, you think you can just leave?" However, Su Qing tentatively asked whether he was one of the instructors at No. 1 Beast Taming High School. Long Tiansheng immediately went along with her assumption. In Su Qing's mind, no student could possibly possess that kind of strength. Su Qing then hurriedly asked whether he would return the next day. Long Tiansheng finally relaxed. She was only worried that he might not come back. He had thought she was planning to settle the score with him. While Long Tiansheng considered his answer, Su Qing assumed that he was still hesitant. She explained that training with him had helped her tremendously and offered to pay even more. Su Qing offered 20,000 yuan per hour for 10 hours of combat training every day. Long Tiansheng froze when he heard the amount. At that rate, he could earn 200,000 yuan in a single day. Before he could even accept, Su Qing raised her offer again to 30,000 yuan per hour. That meant 300,000 a day and 9 million a month. No wonder everyone wanted the opportunity to train with Su Qing. With that kind of money, Long Tiansheng could purchase all the cultivation resources he needed and still buy plenty of valuable items for the blood-patterned savage turtle. However, he also understood that the savage turtle needed to continue improving. Su Qing had lost today mainly because she had underestimated it. Once she came prepared tomorrow, she would be much harder to defeat. Long Tiansheng then opened the system, eager to experience the Ancient Realm training ground. After spending 10,000 yuan on a ticket, he received a system notification. The training ground could transport him to different ancient worlds. The older the world, the greater the danger, and the better the rewards. A long list of available training grounds appeared before him. Long Tiansheng cautiously selected the first ancient realm. The next second, he was pulled into another space. Dark red clouds covered the sky, while a desolate atmosphere filled the land around him. At the same time, the system issued a 1-star training mission. His objective was to kill a fierce tiger beast. The beast tamer reward was 20 strength, 3 speed, and 3 endurance. The contracted beast reward was 20 strength, 5 spirit, 5 speed, and 5 endurance. Long Tiansheng's eyes lit up. His current strength was only 10 points, but completing the mission would raise it to 30. Would that not make him even stronger than a first-tier warrior? With that thought, he eagerly began searching for a fierce tiger beast. A roar soon sounded in the distance. One of the fierce tiger beasts had discovered Long Tiansheng inside its territory. After both sides tested each other, the blood-patterned savage turtle bit down on the tiger's neck and activated Savage Bite, successfully killing its target. The system notification immediately sounded. One fierce tiger beast had been killed, granting the savage turtle 10 experience points and a 10% increase in battle will. Long Tiansheng also received 1 fierce tiger beast fang, 3 claws, and a skill book called Tiger Pounce. He had actually obtained a skill book. Long Tiansheng immediately opened it to check the details. Only then did he discover that skill books had a drop rate of just 7%. He had gotten unbelievably lucky. After all, even an ordinary skill book was currently worth hundreds of thousands of yuan. Although Tiger Pounce did not seem particularly suitable for a turtle, Long Tiansheng still let the savage turtle learn it. He then continued hunting fierce tiger beasts. After claiming the mission reward, Long Tiansheng could clearly feel that his body had become twice as powerful. It almost felt as if he had truly become a warrior. A moment later, he was transported out of the ancient realm training ground. Long Tiansheng checked the time and discovered that he had spent 5 full hours inside, while only 5 minutes had passed in the real world. Time clearly flowed at a completely different rate. Inside the training ground, Long Tiansheng still did not know whether the ancient realm was a real world, or what would happen if he died inside it. He purchased another ticket, only for the system to inform him that he had one remaining purchase for the day. It appeared that he could enter the ancient realm training ground only 3 times per day. Long Tiansheng decided to purchase his final ticket as well. When he prepared to enter again, 2 options appeared before him. Option 1 was the ancient realm, with 1-star difficulty and rewards reduced by half. Option 2 was the primordial realm, with 2-star difficulty and doubled rewards. Since he had completed the first mission so easily, Long Tiansheng decisively chose the second option. The scenery changed, and he entered the ancient realm training ground once more. This time, the rewards for his contracted beast had clearly increased. The beast tamer reward remained unchanged, but it was still comparable to the effects of an expensive blood key pill. Long Tiansheng checked the description of the Shadow Wolf and discovered that its individual combat power was actually lower than that of a fierce tiger beast. He assumed the difficulty had not increased much, but when he read about the Shadow Wolves' behavior, he immediately drew a sharp breath. Shadow Wolves were famous for their coordinated pack tactics and precise teamwork while hunting. When an entire Shadow Wolf pack attacked together, even elite-rank spirit beasts could become their prey. Just as Long Tiansheng began to panic, the sound of rapid movement suddenly came from every direction. The sounds closed in like an enormous net. Long Tiansheng immediately realized that he had been surrounded. By the time prey heard the Shadow Wolves moving, the pack had usually entered the final stage of its hunt. The blood-patterned savage turtle immediately charged forward, attempting to crush everything in its path and force its way out of the encirclement. But at that moment, 7 or 8 shadow wolves rushed toward it at once. The savage turtle seized an opening and killed one of them with a single bite. The system confirmed the kill and dropped an attribute reward of 5 speed. Long Tiansheng had not expected beasts here to drop permanent attributes. He immediately added the 5 speed points to the blood-patterned savage turtle's attributes. More and more shadow wolves continued attacking. Some bit down on the savage turtle's neck, while others tore into its hind legs. The savage turtle desperately killed several more wolves and obtained another 5 speed points. In the end, however, it could no longer endure the assault and collapsed. Long Tiansheng was also torn apart by the wolf pack. He opened his eyes in the real world with a scream. His body was still completely intact, but the pain of being ripped apart had felt terrifyingly real. After taking some time to recover, Long Tiansheng looked at the clock and discovered that only 1 minute had passed. His death had wasted a ticket worth 10,000 yuan, and he had only 1 entrance remaining for the day. Long Tiansheng had no choice but to select the safer ancient realm. He then spent 3 hours completing the mission successfully. Early the next morning, Long Tiansheng returned to the estate, where Su Qing was already waiting. When she saw him, Su Qing immediately bowed. "Instructor, I'll be counting on you for today's training." Long Tiansheng and Su Qing summoned their beasts. The moment they appeared, Long Tiansheng sensed that something was wrong. The 9-colored fox was clearly different from the day before. Even without activating an innate skill, it already radiated intense heat, like a burning flame. Su Qing explained that the 9-colored fox had learned a fire element magic skill book the previous day. Long Tiansheng finally understood why the 9-colored fox had become so much stronger in only 1 day. He could not help marveling at Su Qing's wealth. A magic skill book was far more expensive than an ordinary one. A beast skill book did not simply grant a completely unrelated ability. Instead, it greatly shortened the time required for the beast to master a compatible skill. For example, the 9-colored fox was naturally gifted with magic. A skill that would normally require 3 to 5 years of training could be mastered quickly with the corresponding skill book. Naturally, those skill books were also unbelievably expensive. Still, Long Tiansheng was not intimidated, because the blood-patterned savage turtle had also improved tremendously the day before. Once the estate grounds transformed into a combat arena, both beasts entered the field. The 9-colored fox immediately used its speed to create distance. Its agility had reached 130 points and could exceed 180 at maximum output. Meanwhile, the savage turtle had less than 70 speed. It could not even touch the fox's shadow. The 9-colored fox's tail blade struck the savage turtle's shell and actually carved a crack into it. The savage turtle's body suddenly froze as intense mental pain tore through it. Because Long Tiansheng shared a mental connection with the savage turtle, he immediately realized that it had been seriously injured. That was only a single strike. What kind of skill had the nine-colored fox learned to become this powerful? Su Qing smiled and revealed that its new ability was called Flame Slash. Long Tiansheng's heart tightened when he heard the name. Flame Slash was a magic skill ranked on the Heaven ranking. The skill possessed devastating power and an equally outrageous price. It had to be extracted from a high-ranking beast, meaning every copy used was permanently lost. No wonder the nine-colored fox had improved so dramatically. Inside the arena, the fox continued striking the savage turtle. After suffering relentless mental damage, the turtle was completely unable to move. Long Tiansheng immediately ordered the savage turtle to activate its innate skill, Blood Ignition. Blood energy poured from its wounds and transformed into a thick, crimson mist that completely surrounded its body. An energy ring appeared around the savage turtle, while the heavy scent of blood filled the air. Su Qing and the female guard were both horrified by the sudden transformation. The savage turtle no longer looked merely wild or brutal. It had become a truly vicious monster. Su Qing quickly warned the nine-colored fox not to lower its guard. However, every one of the savage turtle's attributes had already tripled. Its speed had exceeded 190 points, and it charged directly toward the nine-colored fox. The savage turtle smashed through everything in its path, terrifying the fox. The nine-colored fox desperately tried to escape, but the savage turtle did not bother following the winding path. Since the combat arena was not particularly large, the savage turtle caught the fox within seconds and slammed it to the ground. It opened its enormous jaws and prepared to bite through the nine-colored fox's neck. Su Qing hurriedly shouted, "I surrender." At almost the same moment, Long Tiansheng commanded the savage turtle, "Stop." In that instant, the crazed savage turtle froze like a statue. The nine-colored fox trembled beneath its body, while all the color drained from Su Qing's face. This outcome was completely different from what Su Qing had imagined. She had believed that the nine-colored fox could easily crush the turtle after learning Flame Slash. Long Tiansheng looked at her seriously. "Isn't this supposed to be combat training? Why did you use a killing move like Flame Slash?" Su Qing remained silent for a moment before nodding. "I understand. I just wanted to win once. From now on, we'll stick to normal combat training." Long Tiansheng secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Blood Ignition had a 12-hour cooldown and could not be activated again during that period. If Su Qing continued using Flame Slash, the savage turtle would have no way to fight back. Su Qing then gave the nine-colored fox a healing potion, and its injuries rapidly began to recover. Long Tiansheng watched longingly from the side. Even the savage turtle stared pitifully at the fox. Su Qing noticed the savage turtle's injuries and handed Long Tiansheng another healing potion. "Use this to treat it." Long Tiansheng examined the blue bottle and recognized it as the same potion displayed in a window of a beast supply store. That particular healing potion was priced at an incredible 120,000 yuan. The savage turtle stared at Long Tiansheng expectantly, as if urging him to feed it the potion. If Long Tiansheng waited much longer, its wounds would probably heal on their own. Instead of using the potion, Long Tiansheng immediately put it away. He could resell it for 80,000 yuan. Feeding it to a beast capable of healing itself would be a complete waste. Su Qing noticed his small movement, but chose not to say anything. By the time the nine-colored fox had fully recovered, most of the savage turtle's injuries had already healed naturally. Su Qing was visibly surprised. "Instructor, your turtle's self-healing ability is incredible." Long Tiansheng scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. Ever since Su Qing began calling him instructor, he had started to enjoy the feeling. The two of them continued their intense combat training for more than 9 hours. By the end of the session, both Long Tiansheng and Su Qing were breathing heavily. Although their beasts did the actual fighting, the battle also consumed enormous amounts of the tamer's mental and physical energy. Long Tiansheng was physically exhausted, but he could not have been happier. On the surface, he was helping Su Qing train. In reality, she was also helping Long Tiansheng and the savage turtle gain valuable combat experience. Best of all, she was paying him for it. After training ended, the female guard handed Long Tiansheng his payment for the day, 400,000 yuan. Since the savage turtle had defeated the nine-colored fox at the beginning of the session, Su Qing had included the additional 100,000 yuan reward. Long Tiansheng thanked them and left the estate, dragging his exhausted body behind him. Su Qing and the female guard watched him disappear into the night. The guard suddenly asked, "Young lady, do you really believe he's an instructor at No. 1 Beast Taming High School?" She lowered her voice. Something about the way he moves doesn't feel like an experienced beast tamer. She also pointed out that Long Tiansheng had used only a 2-star transcendent beast to train with Su Qing, yet he had been visibly exhausted afterward. Su Qing paused. If he were truly a veteran beast tamer, his spirit should have been far higher than hers. The female guard continued. Young lady, would you like me to investigate his true identity? Su Qing thought for a moment before gently shaking her head. There's no need. His identity isn't important. What matters is that training with him helps both me and the 9-colored fox improve. Su Qing was certain that the mysterious instructor could not be the same age as her. After all, none of the students in her year were stronger than she was. Meanwhile, Long Tiansheng knew nothing about their suspicions. After returning home, he entered the Ancient Realm training ground again. This time, Long Tiansheng chose only 1-star Ancient Realms. However, what he witnessed during the trials left him deep in thought. What exactly was the Ancient Realm training ground? It did not seem like a virtual game world. The fierce tiger beasts in the territory he had cleared the previous day had never respawned. Even the marks from yesterday's battles were still there, along with fresh tracks left by other fierce tiger beasts that had come to investigate. Yet, Long Tiansheng had clearly died during the Shadow Wolf mission, only to awaken unharmed in the real world. While hunting fierce tiger beasts that day, he had also received an unexpected item. An obedience potion. The potion could increase a beast's obedience by 3%, but it works only on beasts at or below 2-star transcendent rank. It would have been a valuable surprise for anyone else, but it was completely useless to Long Tiansheng. He could not understand why the Ancient Realm training ground would drop an item like that. While he was still considering the question, a notification suddenly appeared on his phone. His classmates were discussing a new rumor in the group chat. The rules for this year's entrance examination were apparently about to change. In previous years, the 3rd stage had been a controlled combat test. This year, students would instead be sent into the Wasteland Restricted Zone to fight wild beasts and survive. The news struck everyone like a thunderbolt. Wild beasts possessed far more real combat experience than ordinary contracted beasts. For students taking the entrance examination, this kind of test was practically a death sentence. One student suddenly pointed out that this explained why combat training facilities had been so crowded. Many people must have received the information in advance. The comment immediately made sense to everyone. However, they still did not understand why the examination rules had suddenly changed. Someone with inside information explained that the Advanced Beast Taming Academy had recently appointed a new president. The new president believed that training beast tamers without preparing them for real combat was nothing but a waste of resources. There was also an even more shocking piece of information. Students who passed the entrance examination normally received relocation eligibility. This year, Jiangcheng had been allocated several additional openings. Because of that, candidates from major cities would come to Jiangcheng and register as local students for the examination. The person revealing this information was Wang Kaixuan. His uncle was a leader in the Jiangcheng Enforcement Bureau, giving him access to information that ordinary people could not obtain. Long Tiansheng already had a vague idea of what was happening. Sending students into a restricted zone was something the entrance examination had never done before. But every normal combat training facility had already been reserved. The Ancient Realm training ground was now Long Tiansheng's only opportunity to improve his real combat ability. More importantly, he had discovered a loophole in the system. As long as he did not complete the mission inside the Ancient Realm training ground, he could extend his training time indefinitely. Even if he trained inside for thousands of hours, only a short amount of time would pass in the real world. Long Tiansheng therefore decided to begin a special training program before the entrance examination. Every day, he spent 10 hours conducting high-intensity combat training with Su Qing. At night, he entered the Ancient Realm training ground with the Savage Turtle. Instead of approaching the mission target, they searched for other vicious beasts to fight. As long as they avoided dying, they could continue battling inside the Ancient Realm for more than half a month at a time. Through this brutal routine, the blood-patterned Savage Turtle gained 30 strength points every day. 1 week later, Long Tiansheng had earned more than 2 million yuan from Su Qing and finally had enough money for the next step of his plan. The first thing he wanted to do was treat his adoptive father's illness. To pay for Long Tiansheng's education, his adoptive father had spent years hunting vicious beasts inside the demon caverns. Long Tiansheng called a major state hospital. When the doctor learned that the blood poison had already reached its 3rd stage, he explained that there was almost no available treatment. The answer struck Long Tiansheng like a thunderbolt. He desperately asked how much the treatment would cost. 10 million or 20 million yuan. As long as there was a cure, he would find a way to pay for it. The doctor was equally helpless. Blood poison could still be treated during the first and second stages, but once it reached the third stage, conventional medicine was almost useless. The doctor then mentioned one possible exception. A certain healing beast at the Advanced Beast Taming Academy might be able to remove the blood poison completely. However, that beast belonged to an extremely powerful beast tamer. If Long Tiansheng could convince that person to help, his adoptive father might still have a chance. Long Tiansheng immediately wiped away his tears. It seemed that his only option was to enter the Advanced Beast Taming Academy and find that powerful beast tamer. During the following months, Long Tiansheng trained with Su Qing every day. 1 week before the entrance examination, Su Qing announced that she would begin training at a formal combat facility, bringing their private training arrangement to an end. Long Tiansheng could not help feeling disappointed. Once the entrance examination ended, the two of them would become parallel lines that would never cross again. During this period, Long Tiansheng exploited the loophole in the Ancient Realm training ground and spent a total of 600 days training inside. The blood pattern Savage Turtle's strength had already exceeded 1,000 points, which was why it had repeatedly suppressed the 9-colored fox. Long Tiansheng's own strength had also surpassed 60 points, placing him far above an ordinary first-tier warrior. At the same time, his spirit had finally broken through the 50-point mark. Improving human spirit was far more difficult than improving physical strength. Reaching 50 points within 3 years was already considered incredibly fast. Once a beast tamer's spirit exceeded 50 points, they could unlock a second contract slot and form a contract with another beast. Long Tiansheng therefore decided to purchase his second beast. When he arrived at the beast center, a young saleswoman quickly approached him. She smiled and asked, "Hey there, handsome. What kind of beast taming talent did you awaken? Let me help you find the right one." Long Tiansheng casually replied that any attribute would be fine as long as the beast was suitable. Even Long Tiansheng froze after saying that. Had he actually awakened an all-attribute beast taming talent? After recovering, he awkwardly said, "Just show me some of the cheaper beasts." The saleswoman led him to another section and pointed toward one of the beasts, explaining that it was already the cheapest one available. Its loyalty was only 72%, making it relatively dangerous. The saleswoman did not recommend purchasing it. Long Tiansheng looked troubled and asked whether she had anything even cheaper. The saleswoman looked him up and down and immediately lost interest. She reminded him that 72% loyalty was already the minimum safety threshold. Anything cheaper would be a discarded beast that might turn on its master. Left with no other choice, Long Tiansheng went to search through other stores. Although the beasts he had just seen met the normal loyalty requirements, every one of them failed the system's standards. Their bloodline purity did not even reach 1%, meaning they were completely unqualified for ancestral reversion. This meant that Long Tiansheng could only purchase cheap, discarded beasts. In the end, he searched through the promotional messages on his phone and contacted several private sellers. He finally reached a seller who demanded 5,000 yuan for a beast with a 40% loss of control rate. To the seller's surprise, Long Tiansheng immediately refused. He wanted a beast with a loss of control rate below 10%. When Long Tiansheng returned home, he found a black cage sitting outside his door. The moment he approached, a dark figure suddenly lunged toward him. When Long Tiansheng looked inside the cage, he discovered a panda beast. Panda beasts were said to be an ancient species, but most modern bloodlines had evolved along a harmless and adorable path. Most people could only raise them as pets. Fortunately, this panda beast had more than 1% bloodline purity. Long Tiansheng used his powerful spirit to form a contract with it immediately. The system confirmed that he had successfully contracted a 1-star transcendent panda beast. It could undergo ancestral reversion and become a 2-star transcendent berserk iron-eating beast. Under normal circumstances, a panda beast would evolve into a 2-star transcendent moonlight panda. Long Tiansheng opened the beast codex and checked the moonlight panda's information. The moonlight panda possessed soft white fur, a friendly appearance, and almost no offensive ability. Its eyes could absorb moonlight at night, and its evolutionary limit was the 2-star elite night panda beast. The moonlight panda was a support-type beast that could convert moonlight into healing energy and use it to treat itself or its allies. It also possessed excellent night vision, and its agility would triple under moonlight. Long Tiansheng then opened the entry for the Berserk Iron-Eating Beast. The Berserk Iron-Eating Beast was a 2-star transcendent beast with an enormous muscular body and skin as hard as iron. Its body could resist a certain amount of damage, while its eyes emitted a red glow at night. Its first combat trait was Iron Hide. Its steel-like skin possessed extremely high resistance to physical attacks. Its second trait was Berserk Force. which allowed it to unleash tremendous power in battle and cause devastating destruction. Its third trait was Iron-Eating Fangs, a set of razor-sharp teeth capable of crushing metal. Its skill, Iron Roar, allowed it to release a thunderous bellow. The roar contained powerful mental energy and formed a sonic shockwave, dealing both physical and psychological damage. Enemies struck by the roar could temporarily lose their ability to fight. Its other skill, Iron Fist Frenzy, allowed the Berserk Iron-Eating Beast to enter a berserk state after consuming enough iron. While berserk, its defense would increase sharply, along with its attack speed and strength. Every attack would also carry an Iron Blood aura that weakened the enemy's defense and inflicted continuous damage. Finally, the system displayed its explosive 4 core attributes. Long Tiansheng nearly laughed when he saw the panel. As expected of an ancient calamity beast, its potential was terrifying. Its starting attributes were already higher than those of a blood-patterned savage turtle. Its bloodline might even be more ancient. Long Tiansheng then took out the Ancestral Reversion Serum and began the Panda Beast's Ancestral Reversion. The entrance examination officially began the following day, and every candidate gathered outside the city as instructed. To everyone's surprise, the Flame Dragon Special Task Force was responsible for security. They belonged to the spearhead company of the Jianzhou Demon Suppression Army. The selection process was incredibly difficult, and every member was among the elite of the elite. A well-informed student explained that the Flame Dragon Special Task Force had already eliminated every beast above 2-star Transcendent rank within the examination zone. Long Tiansheng was still somewhat concerned. The examination zone covered hundreds of hectares. Could they truly guarantee that nothing dangerous had escaped detection? The principal soon stepped onto the stage and began encouraging the students participating in the examination. However, the moment the principal stepped down, a masked examiner took his place. The examiner's first words were a cold question. How many of the students standing before him would return alive? Those words immediately filled every student with fear. The masked examiner then raised a flag and explained that identical flags had already been placed throughout the examination zone. The candidates had to form teams of 7 and collect 8 flags inside the restricted zone. Every member of the first team to collect 8 flags would automatically pass the entrance examination. The students immediately erupted in protest. The rules seemed far too dependent on luck. Long Tiansheng frowned slightly. The problem went far beyond simple luck. Anyone who learned the flag's locations in advance could win effortlessly. These rules made cheating extremely easy. The masked examiner then announced the first requirement. The mission had to be completed as a team, and individual results would not count. The second requirement was that neither the beast tamers nor their contracted beasts could lose more than half their numbers. Otherwise, the entire team would fail and lose its qualification. Once the rules were announced, the students began searching for suitable teammates. The first priority in any team was to ensure that its members were as strong as possible. Strong teammates were not only valuable allies but also the greatest guarantee of everyone's safety. A crowd had already gathered around Liu Yanrui, with numerous students inviting him to join their teams. Liu Yanrui merely watched them with a contemptuous smile. Meanwhile, not a single person was willing to team up with Long Tiansheng. News that he had purchased a discarded beast had spread throughout the school, and everyone regarded him as a burden. Suddenly, a voice behind Long Tiansheng insisted that he join their team. Long Tiansheng turned around and saw a young man with slicked back hair waving at him. It was Wang Kaishun, the school's famous information broker. Wang Kaishun was nowhere near as arrogant as Liu Yanrui. He was also one of the younger members of the Wang family, the wealthiest family in Zhengcheng. Long Tiansheng looked at him in confusion and asked what he was planning. Several students, beside Wang Kaishun, also frowned. With so many candidates available, why had he chosen Long Tiansheng? After all, Long Tiansheng's contracted beast was a discarded specimen. Wang Kaishun completely ignored their complaints. He explained that he had rejected countless candidates along the way, specifically because he was searching for Long Tiansheng. Long Tiansheng could tell that Wang Kaishun meant no harm. There was no reason for him to come over at a time like this just to humiliate him. Long Tiansheng nodded and accepted Wang Kaishun's invitation. However, Feng Nanhe immediately objected and demanded to know why Wang Kaishun had invited Long Tiansheng. In her opinion, his discarded beast would only drag the entire team down. Feng Nanhe was Liu Rian's closest friend. Back when Long Tiansheng and Liu Rian were still together, she would always greet him with a cheerful smile. Now, her attitude toward Long Tiansheng had completely reversed. The other 3 teammates remained silent, but their expressions clearly showed that they agreed with Feng Nanhe. Wang Kaixuan simply smiled and told them that his friend Long Tiansheng was the real powerhouse. Fang Anhe could no longer listen quietly. She mocked Wang Kaixuan for being completely incapable of judging people. She even threatened to have Liu Ruyan's boyfriend Liu Yanrui teach Long Tiansheng a lesson. Wang Kaixuan immediately asked whether she wanted him to throw her out of the team right now. Fang Anhe finally understood the warning and closed her mouth. Wang Kaixuan then grabbed Long Tiansheng's arm and told him to stop standing around. They still needed to find their next teammate. Long Tiansheng asked who Wang Kaixuan planned to recruit next. Wang Kaixuan deliberately kept it a secret. He led Long Tiansheng through the crowd toward the most densely packed area. Through the wall of people, Long Tiansheng saw a girl surrounded by countless students. She wore a pleated school uniform skirt and matching jacket. Her flawless beauty made it almost impossible for anyone to look away. She was Su Qing, the most beautiful girl in school. At that moment, Liu Yanrui was also inviting Su Qing to join his team. Their teammate, He Yue, asked uncertainly whether they truly had a chance. Su Qing was the most highly sought-after candidate in the entire examination. Wang Kaixuan grinned. How will we know if we don't try? Wang Kaixuan already knew that Long Tiansheng and Su Qing had trained together, which was precisely why he had brought Long Tiansheng along. During the past month, Su Qing had trained with Long Tiansheng every day. They were far more familiar with each other than anyone realized. Although Long Tiansheng's true identity had been exposed on the day of the examination, Su Qing had not confronted him. Instead, she had been quietly observing his performance. When Long Tiansheng arrived with Wang Kaixuan's team to invite her, the atmosphere immediately became complicated. Liu Yanrui suddenly stepped in front of Su Qing and spoke sincerely. Su Qing, trust me. Our team is your best choice. Su Qing remained expressionless, as though she were still waiting for something. Wang Kaixuan immediately stepped forward with a smile. Su Qing, why not consider joining us? I can also provide a piece of secret information. Only then did Liu Yanrui notice Long Tiansheng standing with Wang Kaixuan's team. His expression immediately darkened. Liu Ruyan looked at Long Tiansheng with disgust. I can't believe you actually bought a discarded beast and brought it to the entrance examination. Long Tiansheng smiled faintly. Do you remember what I told you? You'd better hope you don't run into me during the examination. Liu Yanru threatened him in a cold voice. Long Tiansheng, your luck is terrible. It's perfectly normal for people to die during a restricted zone examination. You won't survive this one. Everyone looked at Long Tiansheng with sympathy, but his gaze only grew colder. Long Tiansheng replied calmly. You're right. It is perfectly normal for some people to die during this examination. Long Tiansheng then asked whether Wang Kaixuan truly knew Su Qing's identity. Wang Kaixuan revealed that his third uncle was the president of the Jiangcheng Guild. A moment later, Su Qing walked directly toward Wang Kaixuan's team. Liu Yanrui froze on the spot, while everyone around him stared in disbelief. Had Su Qing suddenly decided that she did not want to pass the entrance examination? Before anyone could understand her decision, the candidates began entering the Wasteland Restricted Zone. Every candidate received a wristband that monitored their vital signs and could send a distress signal during an emergency. The moment the team entered the restricted zone, all three girls immediately screamed. Zhao Zhigong appeared calm on the surface, but even his legs had begun trembling uncontrollably. A wild, two-star transcendent crystal tiger had appeared in front of them, and it possessed considerable combat power. Wang Kaixuan cried out in fear and immediately hid behind Long Tiansheng. Only Long Tiansheng and Su Qing remained completely calm. Su Qing had no reason to panic, because her 9-colored fox could kill a crystal tiger with ease. However, she was curious about Long Tiansheng. What gave him the confidence to remain so calm? Long Tiansheng had already grown accustomed to fighting fierce tiger beasts inside the ancient realm, so the crystal tiger did not intimidate him at all. His real problem was that the berserk iron-eating beast had not yet completed its ancestral reversion. If he summoned the blood-patterned savage turtle, his hidden identity would immediately be exposed. If Su Qing learned that the instructor she had been calling all this time was actually Long Tiansheng, she might chase him with a blade for 3 days and 3 nights. When Wang Kaixuan saw that Long Tiansheng still had not acted, he began to panic. He hurriedly urged him, "Boss, aren't you going to do something? We came here for an actual combat examination." Long Tiansheng turned and gave Wang Kaixuan a long look. Did this guy truly know something about his strength? The crystal tiger was already charging toward Long Tiansheng. Zhao Zhigong immediately retreated, while Fan Anhe shouted that no one should save him because the team could still afford 3 deaths. At the critical moment, a silver light flashed, and the crystal tiger was instantly decapitated. Everyone turned towards Su Qing and saw the 9-colored fox licking blood from its claws. Su Qing had acted without hesitation. A wild 2-star transcended beast could not survive even 1 second against her. He Yue stared at her in admiration, while the others hurriedly praised her. Zhao Zhigong quietly summoned an ape guardian more than 6 feet tall. Wang Kaishuan also suggested that everyone summon their beasts in advance so they could react immediately to danger. Fang Anhe summoned an astral butterfly. He Yu summoned a swift shadow leopard, and Yu Chu Yao summoned a verdant treant. Every one of them was a 2-star transcendent beast. Everyone complained about how competitive the examination had become, yet they had all secretly evolved their beasts. Wang Kaishuan then summoned a round, golden pig. Its body radiated dazzling light, creating a sharp contrast with the other beasts. However, no one dared to mock it. This was the lazy pig, the #1 beast species on the yellow ranking. It could release special mental energy that slowed enemies and drained their will to fight. Wang Kaishuan modestly explained that his father had spent a fortune obtaining it. However, he still claimed that he was nowhere near Long Tiansheng or Su Qing. Fang Anhe immediately frowned. Su Qing's strength was undeniable, but Long Tiansheng had only purchased a discarded beast. In her opinion, he was clearly the weakest member of the team. Suddenly, more movement came from the forest and several crystal tigers rushed out. Zhao Zhigong immediately moved beside Su Qing, while Fan Anhe hid behind Wang Kaishuan. To everyone's surprise, He Yue fought courageously and ordered the swift shadow leopard to attack. But the crystal tigers had greater numbers and soon tore the leopard apart. Yu Qiyao cried out that 3 crystal tigers were charging toward them. However, her verdant treant was a support-type beast with almost no ability in direct combat. Zhao Zhigong's ape guardian showed no intention of helping either. Long Tiansheng's gaze turned cold as he summoned the blood-patterned savage turtle. The heavy scent of blood instantly spread across the surrounding area. Su Qing's pupils contracted as she stared at Long Tiansheng in disbelief. 2 of the 3 fighters on this side had already lost their ability to battle. Long Tiansheng had no choice but to kill every approaching crystal tiger. The savage turtle charged forward, avoided a tiger's jaws, and bit down on its neck. With one violent shake of its head, it instantly killed the beast. The savage turtle then activated blood armor charge. It tore open one crystal tiger's stomach and ripped another apart with its claws. Moments later, the savage turtle stood covered in blood, while all 8 crystal tigers lay dead around it. Everyone stared in shock. Zhao Zhigong's legs trembled in fear, while Fan Anhe's expression became extremely dark. Long Tiansheng looked at the others and questioned them coldly. The moment danger appears, all of you retreat faster than anyone else. Is this what you call a team? After recovering from her shock, Fang Anhe mocked Long Tiansheng instead. He had only killed a few crystal tigers. Next time, they would not need help from a useless person like him. She even declared that they had overestimated the crystal tigers, and that any one of them could defeat an entire group alone. Zhao Zhigang also pounded his chest, and claimed that he simply had not gotten the chance to fight. If more crystal tigers appeared, he would show everyone his true strength. The moment he finished speaking, another 7 or 8 crystal tigers charged from the forest. Zhao Zhigang immediately pulled He Ye and Yu Qiao behind Su Qing. While Fang Anhe hesitated, Wang Kaishuan pushed her forward with a smile. Fang Anhe, this is your chance. Fang Anhe had no choice but to order the astral butterfly to attack and use its wings to cut off a crystal tiger's head. But the butterfly could never reach the right position. Its attacks either missed or were easily avoided, and a crystal tiger soon tore it apart. Zhao Zhigong finally tried to react, but 4 crystal tigers had already surrounded his ape guardian and were tearing into it. He wanted to ask Su Qing for help, but she completely ignored him. Wang Kaishuan merely shrugged innocently. Zhao Zhigong could only order Long Tiansheng to save the ape guardian. When Long Tiansheng ignored him, he began pointing at him and making threats. Long Tiansheng let out a faint laugh. He already knew Zhao Zhigong was one of Liu Yanrui's lackeys. Zhao Zhigong's face turned red with rage, but when he saw his ape guardian being torn apart, he dropped to his knees and begged Long Tiansheng to save it. Zhao Zhigong expected Long Tiansheng to help. Instead, Long Tiansheng merely watched him and directly refused. Only then did Zhao Zhigong understand that Long Tiansheng had never intended to tolerate his behavior. Wang Kaishuan also asked him a brutal question. They could have saved He Yue's swift shadow leopard earlier, yet they had chosen to stand aside. Their elimination was entirely their own fault. Wang Kaishuan patted the lazy pig beside him. The pig began snorting, and a strangely hypnotic sound echoed through the area. Miraculously, the crystal tigers gradually slowed down until they stood completely motionless. Su Qing immediately ordered the 9-colored fox to attack. Moments later, every crystal tiger was dead, and the crisis was over. However, the team's internal atmosphere had completely changed. Zhao Zhigan's ape guardian had been dismembered, Fan Anhei's astral butterfly was dead, and He Yue's swift shadow leopard could no longer fight. All three had lost their examination qualifications. Only Long Tiansheng, Su Qing, Wang Kaishen, and Yu Chuyao could continue. Under the examination rules, they could not lose another beast tamer or contracted beast. One more casualty would eliminate the entire team. A small firework suddenly appeared in the distant sky. This was the challenge signal, triggered whenever a flag was pulled from the ground. A team had already found one. Long Tiansheng guessed that the other team possessed a scouting-type beast or skill. His team increased its pace and continued searching ahead. Before they had gone far, Yu Qiuyao's verdant treant detected a flag nearby. When the team arrived, they found a red flag planted in the middle of an empty clearing. The position clearly looked suspicious. Su Qing sent the 9-colored fox to investigate. The moment it entered the flag's area, the ground suddenly collapsed. The fox leaped between the falling rocks and escaped back to solid ground. A pit hundreds of meters deep, filled with sharpened bamboo stakes, appeared before them. Everyone was stunned by the trap. Yu Chuyao timidly raised her hand and offered to retrieve the flag. The verdant treant rooted itself beside the pit and extended its branches across the gap. It gently wraps them around the flag and pulled it free. Yu Chuyao immediately became suspicious. The flag had been planted so loosely that it seemed someone had casually placed it there. Everyone also noticed that no firework appeared after the flag was removed. A piercing cry suddenly came from above. A large bird descended from the sky and snatched the flag directly from Yu Chuyao's hands. The team chased it to a large tree and discovered Lu Yanrui and Lu Ruyan's team waiting there. The moment they arrived, the opposing group revealed mocking smiles. Lu Yanrui sneered. People were already going to die during this examination. I didn't expect all of you to deliver yourselves to us. Long Tiansheng sensed that something was wrong. Someone clearly prepared this trap in advance. Su Qing coldly added that the trap had been designed to weaken other candidates. It might even have been a cheating method prepared by the outside city relocation candidates. Long Tiansheng prepared to eliminate Liu Yanrui's team first. However, Liu Ruyan suddenly stepped forward and challenged him to a one-on-one fight. The beast that had stolen the flag was Liu Ruyan's 2-star transcendent light feather bird. The light feather bird was not particularly talented in combat. Even so, Liu Ruyan believed using it against the jade pattern spirit turtle would be complete overkill. Liu Yanrui's teammates were also confused by how seriously she was taking the fight. They all believed Long Tiansheng possessed only a 1-star transcendent jade pattern spirit turtle. Liu Ruyan merely snorted and declared that she would kill Long Tiansheng herself. She had completely forgotten everything Long Tiansheng had once done for her. All she wanted was to eliminate the person who knew her shameful past. In Liu Ruyan's eyes, Long Tiansheng was the only obstacle preventing her from marrying into a wealthy family. Long Tiansheng had complicated feelings about what she had become, but this time, he had no intention of holding back. He snapped his fingers, and a terrifying killing intent emerged from the beast-taming space behind him. Invisible pressure spread through the area, causing Wang Kaishuan's heart to race. He excitedly thought that Long Tiansheng's monstrous turtle was finally about to appear. But the beast that emerged was not the savage turtle. It was a panda, covered in a metallic glow. Everyone on both sides stared in shock. Liu Ruyan asked in disbelief, "What kind of beast is that? Didn't everyone say Long Tiansheng contracted a jade pattern spirit turtle?" Liu Yanrui narrowed his eyes. Could that be an evolved panda beast? One of his teammates immediately claimed that its appearance clearly marked it as another discarded beast. Wang Kaishuan and the others were equally stunned. Wang Kaishuan felt his scalp go numb when he realized that Long Tiansheng's spirit had already reached 50 points. Even Su Qing's mouth fell open as she remembered the month she had spent training with Long Tiansheng. A heaven-ranking beast had repeatedly failed to defeat him, and now he had become a dual beast tamer. His rate of growth was simply unbelievable. The light feather bird launched its attack, digging its claws into the berserk iron-eating beast's shoulders while beating its wings wildly. But the iron-eating beast remained as steady as a mountain. Its crimson eyes filled with brutality as it grabbed the bird's leg and slammed it into the ground. The iron-eating beast continued smashing the light feather bird back and forth, forcing painful cries from its throat. Liu Ruyan's smile completely froze. She cursed the light feather bird as useless and demanded to know how her 2 million yuan investment could lose to a discarded beast purchased for 5,000. The light feather bird struggled desperately, but its strength could not compare to the iron-eating beast's. It remained trapped in its grip. The iron-eating beast raised its muscular arms and tore the light feather bird in half. Liu Ruyan stood as if struck by lightning and glared viciously at Long Tiansheng. Liu Yanrui also declared that this conflict between them was far from over. Before he could finish his threat, the iron-eating beast tossed the light feather bird into its mouth, chewed it twice, and swallowed it before spitting out several feathers. Liu Ruyan's remaining threats died in her throat, while everyone felt a chill run down their backs. Wang Kaishuan and the others drew sharp breaths. Beasts eating one another was not uncommon, but this panda somehow looked like a complete villain while doing it. Long Tiansheng walked forward and kicked the iron-eating beast. "Who told you that you could eat it?" The seemingly suicidal action made everyone's heart leap into their throat. A beast that had just tasted blood could easily enter a loss of control period, and devouring another beast made it even more likely to attack its master. Everyone imagined Long Tiansheng being torn apart by his own panda. Wang Kaishuan and Yu Qiyao even covered their eyes, but the iron-eating beast merely scratched the back of its head. A second later, it opened its mouth and gave Long Tiansheng a foolish grin. Everyone was dumbfounded. Such a vicious beast was unbelievably obedient in front of Long Tiansheng. Long Tiansheng turned toward Liu Yanrui. "This trap nearly killed us. You owe us an explanation." Liu Yanrui's expression darkened. But he stubbornly claimed that Long Tiansheng had only killed a light feather bird that was not suited for combat. Zhang Meng volunteered to fight. He told Liu Yanrui not to waste any more words because he could kill Long Tiansheng himself. Zhang Meng summoned an enormous primal demon, which immediately charged the berserk iron-eating beast. The two beasts began exchanging brutal blows. As the battle continued, everyone sensed that something was wrong. The primal demon had 180 strength, so how could a mere panda beast fight it evenly? When Zhang Meng realized that the battle would not end quickly, he ordered the primal demon to equip combat gear to protect his reputation. Someone beside him immediately objected, warning that an examination patrol would classify it as cheating if they were caught. Liu Yanrui told Zhang Meng not to worry. If a patrol examiner arrived, he would personally explain the situation. Zhang Meng threw the equipment to the primal demon. The moment it put on the gear, its combat power rose to another level. Wang Kaishuan immediately became anxious. Someone asked whether Su Qing should help Long Tiansheng, but she casually replied that there was no need because Long Tiansheng still had a turtle. Long Tiansheng snapped his fingers. The berserk iron-eating beast released a thunderous roar, and its muscles rapidly expanded. It began striking the primal demon with its claws. Even when the demon's spiked armor pierced its palms, the iron-eating beast refused to retreat. Its attacks grew faster and more violent until the primal demon could no longer defend itself. One final blow sent it crashing beneath a tree. Zhang Meng fell to his knees in despair. Then an even more terrifying scene unfolded as the iron-eating beast began eating the primal demon alive. Everyone was too shocked to speak. The surprise in Su Qing's eyes only deepened because she had never seen a beast so completely unafraid of death. Outside the examination zone, the parents were growing increasingly anxious. The lights representing candidates continued disappearing, which meant more teams were being eliminated. Long Tiansheng's adoptive mother was the most frightened because he had never told her that the examination roles had changed. Only now did she learn that Long Tiansheng had entered an extremely dangerous restricted zone examination. His family had already given him the money originally intended for hospitalization so that he could purchase a beast and participate in the examination. But when his adoptive mother went to pay the hospital, she discovered that Long Tiansheng had already covered all the treatment expenses. After asking around, she learned that Long Tiansheng had purchased only a discarded beast before entering the dangerous examination. When a wealthy woman nearby saw her crying, she gave a mocking laugh. The woman coldly said that she had warned them to abandon their unrealistic dreams. Yet Long Tiansheng had still dared to participate. Since he refused to give up, she had no choice but to use a few methods of her own. Long Tiansheng's adoptive mother turned around and recognized the wife of Grand General Long Zhenbang, the commander of the demon suppression forces. She was also Long Tiansheng's stepmother in name. Long Tiansheng was actually the Grand General's illegitimate son. Because the Long family refused to recognize his identity, he had been abandoned in this remote border city. Fortunately, his kind adoptive parents had taken him in and raised him. To prevent Long Tiansheng from ever returning to the Long family, Long Zhenbang's wife had arranged for outside city candidates to target him during the examination. When his adoptive mother learned that prodigies from major cities had been sent after him, terror filled her heart. Long Tiansheng was in danger. Back inside the restricted zone, Long Tiansheng was preparing to settle the score with Liu Yanrui when a buzzing sound came from the distance. Someone beside Liu Yanrui immediately shouted, "Boss, the patrol examiners are almost here. We need to leave now." Liu Yanrui quickly created distance from Long Tiansheng. He threatened to deal with him personally at the end of the examination, then led his teammates away. Wang Kaixuan hurried after Long Tiansheng and asked why their team needed to run as well. Long Tiansheng rolled his eyes. With such an enormous trap left behind, there was no way they could explain the situation clearly. The examination might quietly tolerate traps like this, but only as long as the patrol examiners did not catch anyone using them. Wang Kaixuan looked disappointed. They had failed to steal any of the 3 flags held by Liu Yanrui's team, and the competition would only become more difficult. The team increased its pace and continued searching. After some time, they finally found a genuine flag. A firework exploded in the sky as Wang Kaixuan grabbed the flag. He cursed under his breath and urged everyone to leave before other teams followed the signal. Just as they prepared to move, Su Qing remained in place and looked ahead. "Instructor, there's someone over there." Every hair on Long Tiansheng's body stood up. He had not heard that title in a while, yet Su Qing and suddenly used it again at the worst possible moment. Long Tiansheng looked at her carefully. "Su Qing, maybe you shouldn't call me instructor anymore." Su Qing blinked innocently. "Why not, instructor?" Long Tiansheng felt guilty, but he also secretly enjoyed it. After all, no one could resist hearing the most beautiful girl in school address them that way. Wang Kaixuan leaned over and teased them. "That's a pretty unusual thing you two have going on. But shouldn't we check the enemy first?" Long Tiansheng and Su Qing both turned red and shouted almost simultaneously, "Stop talking nonsense." Everyone looked ahead and saw a muscular young man leading the group, followed by an enormous ironclad warbear. The warbear radiated crushing pressure through its sheer size. Wang Kaixuan muttered that a beast that large had to be a 3-star transcendent. Long Tiansheng also recognized it. This was indeed a 3-star transcendent ironclad warbear. The entrance examination had a strict age requirement, and candidates were expected to contract their first beast at 18. Anyone who already possessed a 3-star transcendent beast either had extraordinary talent or had used illegal evolution methods. If these people were truly that talented, they would have no reason to take the examination in a remote border city. They clearly belonged to the second category. More importantly, the group had been hostile toward Long Tiansheng from the beginning. They all looked toward him and one of them quietly asked, "Kui Xiang, that's the kid, right?" Kui Xiang warned them coldly, "He's the one we want. Walk away now and we won't touch you." Su Qing crossed her arms and completely ignored him. Wang Kaixuan laughed and suggested that Kui Xiang donate his brain if he had no intention of using it. Their team had only 4 active members left. If they lost one more, the entire team would be eliminated. Kui Xiang stopped wasting words and sneered. "Then all of you can die with him." The ironclad warbear immediately charged. Long Tiansheng ordered the berserk iron-eating beast to block it, but the difference in their size and power was enormous. The iron-eating beast was instantly thrown aside. Everyone felt a wave of terror because the 2 beasts clearly belonged to different levels. The warbear continued charging toward Long Tiansheng without slowing down. Su Qing issued a hurried command, and the 9-colored fox leaped into its path. The 9-colored fox activated both its tail blades and flame slash, carving a deep wound into the warbear's chest. Kui Xiang was surprised. As expected of the species ranked 33rd on the heaven ranking, it could challenge a 3-star beast while still at 2-star transcendent rank. However, his smile quickly became mysterious as 2 more powerful auras appeared behind him. A thunder lion covered in electrical arcs and an enormous water element python appeared before the team. Both beasts were also 3-star transcendents. Long Tiansheng immediately realized that every member of the opposing team had used illegal evolution. He suddenly thought of that woman from the Long family. She must have helped these people infiltrate Zhongqing. Kui Xiong spoke coldly. "All you need to know is that someone doesn't want you leaving this place alive. Accept your fate." Long Tiansheng frowned. "People keep telling me to accept my fate. But who do you think you are?" Kui Xiong mocked him, claiming that Long Tiansheng's talent was completely useless against them. There was nothing he could do except wait for death. At that moment, a loud crunching sound suddenly caught everyone's attention. They turned around and saw the berserk iron-eating beast clinging to the warbear's back while furiously chewing through its armor. Long Tianxing immediately sensed the iron-eating beast's strength rising rapidly as it entered an even more violent state. Kui Xiong ordered the warbear to throw it off, but the iron-eating beast dug its claws in and revealed a terrifying grin. It continued devouring the armor while activating Iron Fist Frenzy and suppressing the ironclad warbear with all its strength. That metal armor was the source of the warbear's incredible defense. Even heavy armor-piercing rounds could not penetrate it. However, the flesh beneath the armor was not nearly as durable. Within a few dozen seconds, the armor across the bear's back had been completely devoured. Kui Xiong could no longer remain calm. "Stop that stupid panda. Don't let it keep eating." The berserk iron-eating beast had already absorbed enough metal to enter its berserk state, and its muscles expanded to an absurd degree. The moment Iron Fist Frenzy fully activated, every punch slammed directly into the warbear's spine. Without its armor, the warbear's flesh was torn open. Even its enormous body was forced downward under the relentless blows. As the strikes continued, the ironclad warbear finally collapsed. Its body, more than 30 feet tall, crashed into the ground. Kui Xiong stared in disbelief. His dream of entering an advanced beast-taming academy had been completely destroyed. Su Qing looked toward Long Tianxing and realized that all his beasts shared one unusual trait: extraordinarily high obedience. An ordinary beast tamer had to pay an enormous price to improve compatibility with a beast by even 1%. At that moment, the lazy pig began snorting, causing Kui Xiong and his teammates to slow down. Long Tianxing and Su Qing exchanged a glance and immediately understood that this was the perfect opportunity to attack. The nine-colored fox unleashed its full power, combining its tail blades with flame slash. Su Qing had clearly held back during her training sessions with Long Tianxing. Long Tianxing also ordered the iron-eating beast and the savage turtle to attack. Kui Xiong roared through gritted teeth. "Long Tianxing, you ruined our entire future." He threatened that the Long family would no longer be the only group trying to kill him. His team would use every connection they had to place a bounty on Long Tianxing. Long Tianxing looked at him coldly. "You still think you're leaving? This is a restricted zone. How can beast tamers without their beasts possibly survive?" Su Qing immediately understood and walked away. Wang Kaishuan followed with Yu Chuyao. Yu Chuyao asked with a pale face, "Is Long Tianxing going to kill them?" Wang Kaishuan smiled and shook his head. "Of course not. Long Tianxing is only going to protect them until the examination patrol arrives." The moment he finished speaking, screams echoed through the forest. Even Wang Kaishuan's mouth began twitching. Long Tianxing soon caught up with the team alongside the iron-eating beast and handed Wang Kaishan 2 blood-stained flags. When several patrol examiners reached the previous location, the scene before them left them horrified. 7 beast tamers had been mutilated beyond recognition, while only pieces of their beasts remained. One patrol examiner nearly vomited. This was clearly a team that had used illegal evolution and should have possessed tremendous combat power. Yet someone had still wiped them out with extreme brutality. Another examiner revealed that this was already the 8th team to be completely annihilated. More than half the candidates had now been killed or injured. The situation was clearly out of control. The middle-aged lead examiner immediately ordered his people to report the situation and await further instructions. Outside the examination zone, the supervising examiner stared blankly at the lights constantly disappearing from the screen. He could not understand how so many students were dying when the military had already swept the area several times. This could only mean that a team was deliberately hunting other candidates. Their goal was not merely to pass, but to eliminate every competitor. The principal hurried over and demanded that the examination be stopped immediately so the remaining students could leave alive. The supervising examiner sneered. If they ended the examination now, every candidate from the school would be eliminated. Could the principal accept responsibility for that? The principal was left speechless. The students had trained for more than a decade for this day, and he could not make such an enormous decision alone. Meanwhile, Long Tiansheng's team had searched the examination zone without finding a single flag. Long Tiansheng finally realized that there were only 8 flags in the entire examination. The remaining flags must already have been collected. The situation had now become a contest of patience. Long Tiansheng spoke in a serious voice. "We need to keep the initiative. We can't let the ancient beast society control our movements." Wang Kaishuan looked at him with admiration. As expected of the top student, Long Tiansheng always thinks ahead. Su Qing casually added, "Of course, He is Instructor Tianxing, after all. Long Tianxing had no idea how to respond and could only give her an awkward smile. Suddenly, movement came from the forest ahead. A giant flower emerged from the bushes. Its mouth slowly opened and released a cloud of spores. Long Tianxing was uncertain whether this shadow flower demon was a wild beast or someone's contracted beast. Yu Qiuyao suddenly warned them that the shadow flower demon spores could force nearby enemies into a deep sleep. But by the time everyone reacted, they had already inhaled the spores. Heavy drowsiness spread through the team. Wang Kaishuan and Yu Qiuyao were affected the most, and they could barely keep their eyes open. Long Tianxing and Su Qing remained almost completely unaffected. Powerful spirit could apparently resist the spores. Several people emerged from the opposite side of the forest. They belonged to one of the 3 outside city candidate teams. A red-haired young man led them. The man with a buzz cut asked, "Brother Qi, do we really need to be this cautious?" The red-haired leader replied that caution was always necessary, especially after the powerful team they had encountered earlier. A girl with twin ponytails added contemptuously that the previous team had actually sold them the coordinates of their own classmates. Long Tianxing remained hidden behind a tree and considered what he had heard. Someone had exposed his team's location. He immediately suspected Liu Yanri's team. They had encountered only 2 groups, Kui Xiong's annihilated team and Liu Yanri's group. Long Tianxing now regretted not taking the risk and eliminating Liu Yanri earlier. He exchanged a glance with Su Qing, and the 2 quietly moved closer to the opposing team. Long Tianxing moved in front, while Su Qing followed behind him. The buzz-cut man scanned the area. "Brother Qi, do you think they have any flags? Could another team have already killed them?" Brother Qi replied coldly, "There are only 8 flags. If we want to win, we can't ignore any team." Suddenly, something moved through the grass ahead, and the entire group became alert. A heavily injured turtle beast slowly crawled out. Deep cracks covered its shell, making it look almost helpless. The group immediately relaxed. No one cared about a badly injured turtle-type beast. At that moment, Long Tianxing's voice came from behind them. "Were you looking for me?" A filthy panda beast stood beside him, looking as though it had just survived a brutal battle. The opposing team did not attack immediately. Instead, they quickly inspected their surroundings. Long Tianxing spoke first. "There's no need to search. I'm the only one left for my team. Your flower demon already put everyone else to sleep." Brother Qi was confused. If that were true, why was Long Tianxing still standing? Could his spirit be exceptionally powerful, perhaps even above 50 points? Long Tianxing sincerely explained that he merely possessed a few special methods and was not some prodigy from a major city. His honesty only made Brother Qi more suspicious. Why was Long Tianxing willingly revealing everything? Brother Qi became increasingly cautious and demanded to know why Long Tianxing had approached them. Long Tianxing admitted that his team had no chance of winning. However, he refused to let his enemy win either, so he wanted to join Brother Qi's team. Brother Qi immediately understood the situation, but still asked how Long Tianxing intended to prove his sincerity. Long Tianxing offered to place steel restraints on his mutated panda beast to limit its strength. The buzz-cut man produced 2 steel restraints and locked them onto the berserk iron-eating beast. He warned that even 2 armored vehicles could not tear them apart. The twin-tailed girl turned toward Brother Qi and asked whether the ugly turtle might cause trouble. Brother Qi glanced at it casually. The turtle was already so badly injured that it could not possess much combat power. It was even less threatening than the restrained panda beast. The blood-patterned savage turtle looked toward Long Tianxing. The moment the group turned around to continue questioning him, the savage turtle suddenly exploded into action and bit down on the shadow flower demon. Its terrifying jaws snapped the flower demon in half. The long-haired girl who had contracted it immediately suffered backlash and collapsed with a scream. Brother Qi's group finally reacted, but the savage turtle's speed suddenly erupted as violent killing intent filled the area. Long Tianxing ordered it to activate blood ignition. Its attributes tripled again as it attacked a stone beast nearby. Although the stone beast specialized in strength, it could not resist the savage turtle and was torn apart within several attacks. Brother Qi's group stared in disbelief. What kind of turtle was this? How could it even use a skill like Tiger Pounce? The twin-tailed girl reacted first and ordered her unicorn to knock the savage turtle several feet away. Long Tianxing gave her a serious look. The unicorn was ranked 27th on the Mystic ranking, which meant the girl's background was far from ordinary. Brother Qi finally reacted as well. His flame-winged fire lion charged forward, while the unicorn rapidly closed in. Suddenly, a streak of fire shot from behind and slashed directly toward the unicorn. The unicorn avoided the fatal attack, but the tail blade that followed left it with nowhere to escape. It could only block with the hardest part of its body, yet its horn shattered instantly upon impact. The twin-tailed girl's expression changed dramatically, while Brother Qi and the others stared in shock. Su Qing's flawless appearance and heaven-ranking beast clearly did not belong to an ordinary candidate from a small place like Jiangqing. Brother Qi forced himself to remain calm and analyze the situation. He still believed his team held the advantage. After all, the opposing side had revealed only 2 beasts, while the panda beast remained restrained by steel shackles. But the moment Brother Qi turned around, he nearly cursed aloud. The berserk iron-eating beast was happily eating the restraints, and the final piece of steel had already entered its mouth. The situation instantly reversed. The beasts on Long Tiansheng and Su Qing's side were clearly stronger. Brother Qi was overwhelmed with regret, and hurriedly shouted, "Wait!" He pointed out that they had no real personal grudge. They were only competing for flags, and continuing the battle would hurt both sides. Brother Qi offered them 2 flags. He also cursed Liu Yanrui for trying to use them as hired blades, and promised to demand an explanation from him later. Long Tiansheng was surprised, but the offer made sense. Another brutal battle would benefit neither side. Long Tiansheng agreed to let Brother Qi's group leave. Before leaving, Brother Qi warned them that something had gone seriously wrong with the examination. Many candidates had been killed before they even had a chance to activate their emergency wristbands. Brother Qi told them to stay alert, then left with his teammates. Long Tiansheng's group became serious. The entrance examination was clearly facing a major crisis. Their team now possessed 4 flags, greatly increasing their chances of passing. Their opportunity to change their futures was finally within reach. Long Tiansheng suggested actively hunting for other teams. The remaining 4 flags were probably concentrated in the hands of a single group. Wang Kaishuan and Yu Chuyao had no objections, while Su Qing nodded in agreement. The 4 began actively searching for other teams. Outside the examination zone, the parents were wailing because 2/3 of the names on the screen had already gone dark. Some students had merely withdrawn, but many teams had been completely annihilated. Some were transported out as nothing more than bones and scraps of flesh. The chief examiner called an emergency meeting to discuss their response. Among the teams still alive, only one group appeared especially suspicious. The adjutant reported that of the original 3 outside city teams, only one still had every member alive. The chief examiner immediately ordered his people to monitor every team and report any suspicious behavior at once. The adjutant then contacted the principal of Yangcheng and explained that the commander required detailed information about those candidates. The Yangcheng principal claimed that they were merely students who had relocated to Jiangcheng for the entrance examination. The answer temporarily eased some of the chief examiner's suspicions. However, the candidates' records showed nothing exceptional. Their abilities were not even considered high grade. The chief examiner frowned. How could such ordinary students have survived this long? The adjutant's next words made his heart sink. Yangcheng had recently experienced an ancient beast uprising. Everyone's expression changed as intense fear filled the room. The Ancient Beast Society was one of humanity's largest criminal organizations. Its goal was to return ancient calamity beasts to the world and use their power to destroy the existing order. The chief examiner immediately realized that the abnormalities in this examination might be the Ancient Beast Society's work. After searching for an entire day and night, Long Tiansheng's group failed to encounter another team. They found only the remains of a battlefield. When they moved closer, they discovered beast corpses everywhere, along with the half-eaten remains of several beast tamers. Wang Kaishuan recognized the remains as Brother Qi's team and immediately urged everyone to leave. A patrol examiner suddenly appeared ahead. Long Tiansheng's group quickly claimed that they had not seen the Yangcheng team, then hurried away. After taking only 2 steps, Long Tiansheng remembered one of the chief examiner's rules. Patrol examiners would never initiate contact with candidates. The supposed examiner watched them leave, then used a radio to report their coordinates. He lowered his voice. 4-person team located. They're carrying flags. Get here immediately. Long Tiansheng's group continued searching through the forest. Before long, they encountered a team led by their former classmate, Zhou Tong. Zhou Tong nervously explained that she had witnessed the Yangcheng team slaughter another group. The brutality had been horrifying. She then pointed toward the berserk iron-eating beast and said the Yangcheng team's beasts felt strangely similar, equally rough and savage. Long Tiansheng's body stiffened. Could their contracted beasts also possess ancient calamity beast bloodlines? One girl explained that every member of the Yangcheng team carried the same mark, a vicious beast with an eye in the center. Wang Kaishuan joked that Yangcheng students must be incredibly wild if schools allowed them to have tattoos. Everyone stared at him speechlessly. Su Qing rolled her eyes and explained that it was not an ordinary tattoo. It was the symbol of a mysterious organization. That organization wanted to unseal ancient divine beasts and return the world to an age when those creatures ran rampant. Long Tiansheng fell into thought. Had those people also awakened some kind of ancestral reversion system? Before he could find an answer, his group separated from Zhou Tong's team and continued searching for the remaining flags. Outside the examination zone, the extremely high death rate had left the parents in tears. The chief examiner summoned a powerful group of determined soldiers. They were the Flame Dragon Special Task Force. He ordered them to enter the examination zone, rescue every surviving student, and capture the Yangqing team. If the targets resisted, they were to be killed immediately. As Long Tiansheng's group passed several battle-scarred sites, everyone began to wonder if more than a handful of teams were still alive. The usually timid Wang Kaixian swallowed hard. Yu Qiuyao clung tightly to the hem of Long Tiansheng's coat the entire way. Long Tiansheng told them that if either of them wanted to withdraw, he would respect their decision. Given the current situation, this was no longer about passing or failing the exam. If they stayed, they could very well die. However, both Wang Kaixuan and Yu Qiuyao met his gaze with determination. They each had a reason they absolutely had to pass. Just then, Su Qing leaned closer and asked why he had not bothered asking her. Long Tiansheng calmly replied that he already knew she would never give up. He had witnessed her willpower firsthand. Su Qing looked at him with a faint smile. "You know me that well?" Long Tiansheng was still caught up in the flirtatious moment when several figures suddenly appeared in the distance. Their clothes were stained with blood that had not even dried yet. Step by step, they approached the group. Leading them was a towering, muscular man who radiated a crushing presence. Above him circled a massive evil beast with blood-red eyes. Behind him stood a purple-robed woman, accompanied by a giant venomous spider. The other young man wore a suit of armor. He looked up as if he were receiving some kind of signal. Moments later, a black bat returned to his side, apparently carrying information. Pretending to remain calm, Long Tiansheng called out, "You must be the Yangqing team. We finally meet." The purple-robed woman gave him a contemptuous smile. "You people certainly know how to run. Too bad you still won't escape death." Anger filled Long Tiansheng's voice as he demanded to know whether they had been slaughtering other candidates during the exam. The armored young man crossed his arms and replied without a trace of concern, "We did. So what?" Long Tiansheng clenched his teeth and coldly answered, "You'll find out soon enough." Before he could even finish, Su Qing struck first. The 9-colored fox flashed forward like a ghost. White lightning surged across its tail blade as it tore through one of the bat's wings. Before the Yangqing team could react, Long Tiansheng ordered the berserk iron-eating beast to charge. The armored young man immediately summoned an ancient giant serpent to confront it. However, the moment the berserk iron-eating beast closed in, the giant serpent wrapped its body tightly around it. The serpent instantly tightened its coils, trying to crush the iron-eating beast to death. Forced into a corner, the berserk iron-eating beast activated its battle talent. The muscles beneath its iron hide hardened like steel as it resisted the serpent's death coil with all its strength. Long Tiansheng suddenly called Su Qing's name. She immediately understood what he wanted and ordered the 9-colored fox to slash. The ancient giant serpent was instantly cleaved in half. The entire battlefield fell silent. Wang Kaixuan stared in disbelief. Their coordination was incredible. In the blink of an eye, they had left one enemy beast crippled and another dead. The Yangqing team was equally stunned. The fight had barely begun, yet 2 of their beasts were already down. Their muscular captain roared at everyone not to underestimate the enemy. They needed to concentrate their attacks on the 9-colored fox first. The purple-robed woman let out a soft laugh as her pupils turned blood red. Her venomous spider bared its razor-sharp fangs and spewed out huge amounts of highly corrosive silk. White mist quickly spread through the area. The corrosive fumes made it impossible for everyone to keep their eyes open, causing their combat power to plummet. Seeing this, Yu Qiuyao ordered the verdant treant to take root and spread a dense canopy above everyone. The canopy quickly purified the corrosive substances in the air. At last, Yu Qiuyao's abilities as a support-type beast tamer came into play. The berserk iron-eating beast suddenly uprooted a large tree and sharpened its trunk with a few swipes of its claws. It charged toward the venomous spider and drove the sharpened trunk straight into the opening it used to spew silk. The spider released an agonized shriek, and the 9-colored fox immediately followed up with another attack. However, the moment its tail blade came down, the venomous spider blocked it with its fangs. The purple-robed woman sneered. A fox's tail blade isn't necessarily harder than a spider's fangs. But in the next instant, another blade of lightning and fire flared behind the 9-colored fox. The second slash came crashing down and shattered the spider's head. Only then did the Yangcheng team truly begin to panic. Their opponents were far stronger than expected, so they turned and tried to flee. However, the moment they turned around, they found the blood-patterned savage turtle blocking their path. Their captain cursed and immediately ordered the predator eagle to tear that damn turtle apart. The massive predator eagle dived from above, its razor-sharp talons aimed directly at the blood-patterned savage turtle. Just before the eagle could grab it, the savage turtle suddenly leaped into the air. It opened its jaws, counterattacked, and slammed the predator eagle to the ground. No matter how hard the eagle struggled, it could not break free. Within seconds, the savage turtle bit through its neck, leaving everyone stunned. Long Tiansheng merely frowned as he sensed that something was wrong. The Yangcheng team was not weak, but in his eyes, they were still nothing more than a group of violent, overconfident punks. Even Brother Chi's team had been far stronger than the average candidates, yet several more names on the candidate roster had just gone dark. The head examiner studied the casualty list and discovered that the dead were members of the Yangcheng team. He initially assumed the Flame Dragon Special Task Force had found them, only for a denial to come over the radio. The task force reported that they had not located the targets yet. The exam zone was too large, and the enemy had constantly been moving, so they were still tracking them. Cold sweat poured down the head examiner's body. If the Flame Dragon Special Task Force had not eliminated the Yangcheng team, then who had? The situation was clearly even more serious than they had thought. The Yangcheng team might not have been the mastermind at all. The real enemy was still hiding in the shadows. Just then, another unit from the Zhongcheng garrison arrived. They explained that their superiors had taken an anonymous tip extremely seriously and immediately sent them as reinforcements. The head examiners suddenly realized what that meant. Jiangcheng had been left without troops to defend it. The commanding officer finally caught on as well. This could be a diversion. The moment he finished speaking, a massive explosion erupted from the direction of Jiangcheng. Everyone's expression changed as they realized they had fallen into a trap. The head examiner immediately began evacuating the parents outside the exam grounds. At the same time, Long Tiansheng and the others heard the explosion from inside the exam zone. Sensing that something was wrong, Long Tiansheng frowned. Whether the Yangcheng team was behind everything or not, their immediate priority was to finish off the enemies in front of them. At the same time, the purple-robed woman charged at Su Qing with a dagger. Su Qing was about to fight back when Long Tiansheng stepped in front of her and kicked the attacker more than a dozen meters away. The armored young man rushed forward next. This time, Long Tiansheng showed no mercy. His fist smashed into the man's face and sent him flying like a missile. Everyone was once again stunned by Long Tiansheng's strength. Was this guy really a beast tamer? Even a Tier 1 warrior might not possess that kind of power. The remaining members of the Yangcheng team completely abandoned the fight and fled in terror. However, the blood-patterned savage turtle chased after them like a speeding tank. The 9-colored fox was even faster. Its tail blade flashed, and the fleeing members were decapitated in an instant. The entire area fell silent. With that, the Yangcheng team was completely wiped out. The wristband display showed that only 2 teams remained alive, Long Tiansheng's team and Lu Yanri's team. Under the exam's admission rules, Long Tiansheng's team had already passed. Wang Kaishuan rubbed his eyes and excitedly declared that they could finally enter an advanced beast-taming academy. Yu Qiyao had just stepped forward to thank Long Tiansheng when several shadows raced through the forest. They were members of the Flame Dragon Special Task Force. The task force informed them that they had passed the exam and needed to evacuate immediately. However, they were not allowed to return to Jiangcheng. Long Tiansheng asked why. A task force member solemnly explained that Jiangcheng was under attack, and they could not return until the city had been secured. Long Tiansheng's mind instantly went blank. His adoptive father was still lying in a hospital in Jiangcheng. He immediately summoned the berserk iron-eating beast and raced out of the exam grounds. All he wanted was to reach his adoptive parents as quickly as possible. Along the way, Long Tiansheng repeatedly called his adoptive parents, but neither of them answered. Jiangcheng had clearly descended into complete chaos. The moment Long Tiansheng entered Jiangcheng, he found the entire city in chaos. Countless spirit beasts rampaged through the streets with blood-red eyes, attacking anyone in sight. Every beast that lunged at him was immediately taken down by the berserk iron-eating beast. By the time he reached his adoptive father's hospital, the security gate had already been lowered. However, the beasts outside kept ramming the iron barrier and broke through it within moments. Hordes of maddened beasts flooded into the hospital as screams and desperate cries for help echoed throughout the building. Inside one of the wards, Long Tiansheng's adoptive mother was helping his adoptive father leave. Suddenly, a dark blur shot down the corridor. The nurse who had been evacuating people just moments earlier was killed on the spot. Then, a massive rat emerged from the stairwell. It was a transcendent 2-star sharp-tooth rat. Thanks to its incredible speed, it had reached this floor before the other beasts. The patients and their families completely lost hope. Lin Changfeng quickly pulled his wife back into the ward, and the two huddled together on the hospital bed. Agonized screams and the sound of bones being crunched came from the neighboring rooms. Just as the terrified couple began trembling, their ward door was suddenly smashed away. The sharp-toothed rat had finally found them. Lin Changfeng stepped forward, prepared to sacrifice himself so his wife could survive. He drew a broken sword covered in rust and smeared his own blood across the blade. In the next instant, the shattered weapon erupted with a terrifying aura. His wife desperately pleaded with him. Lin Changfeng, you can't do this now. You'll die. The sharp-toothed rat stared at them with contempt, clearly intending to devour them both. But just then, a powerful force struck the beast and blasted it away. The couple froze. Had someone come to save them? Yet what appeared before them was an even more terrifying beast. Its blood-red eyes were nothing like those of an ordinary panda beast, and its body radiated a savage, berserk aura. Long Tianxing suddenly peeked out from behind the iron-eating beast and anxiously shouted, "Mom, Dad, are you hurt?" His adoptive parents were dumbfounded when they saw him. The two were still too frightened to move. They merely pointed at the iron-eating beast with trembling hands. Only then did Long Tianxing realize that his parents were terrified of his beast. Long Tianxing immediately turned around and kicked the iron-eating beast. He had already told it to stop acting so vicious, yet it never listened. After one kick, the terrifying beast instantly cowered like a scolded child. Lin Changfeng's eyes nearly popped out of his head. This terrifying creature was actually Long Tianxing's contracted beast, and its obedience was unbelievable. Long Tianxing admitted that the beast belonged to him, but offered no further explanation. Instead, he asked whether Lin Changfeng knew anything about the attack on Jianxing. Lin Changfeng shook his head. He only knew that a massive explosion had suddenly rocked the city, followed by countless spirit beasts pouring into the streets and attacking people. He seemed to remember something else, but stopped before saying it. Long Tianxing had no time to question him. His immediate priority was clearing every beast out of the hospital. He decided to leave the berserk iron-eating beast on this floor, while he went downstairs to defend the hospital entrance. Lin Changfeng quickly asked how he planned to fight, after leaving his beast behind. Long Tianxing looked back with a smile, and immediately summoned the blood-patterned savage turtle. Blood mist flooded the area, and the turtle's aura even surpassed that of the berserk iron-eating beast. His adoptive parents nearly dropped their jaws. How could Long Tianxing possess two contracted beasts, with each one stronger than the last? Long Tianxing offered no explanation and immediately turned to leave. These beasts were his trump cards, and he could not expose them so easily. If the Ancient Beast Society was also searching for a way to revive ancient calamity beasts, Long Tianxing could easily become their target. He could never allow anyone to discover all his hidden cards. Before long, Long Tianxing cleared every beast from the first floor. The surrounding patients all looked at him with gratitude. At that moment, the Flame Dragon Special Task Force arrived at the hospital. When they saw the floor covered in beast corpses, every member was stunned. Someone recognized Long Tianxing as the top-ranked candidate in the entrance exam. A striking female member smiled and asked whether he would consider joining the Flame Dragon Special Task Force after graduation. Everyone nearby looked at him with envy. Joining the task force was a goal most people would not even dare to dream about. However, Long Tianxing calmly asked, "What's the point of joining the Flame Dragon Special Task Force if it can't even protect Jiangcheng?" The woman solemnly apologized and promised that the task force would do everything in its power to protect the city. She then led her team away. Long Tianxing remained behind to defend the hospital. More survivors began fleeing inside from the streets, causing the number of people gathered there to rapidly increase. Long Tianxing suddenly realized how dangerous this was. To the spirit beasts, the scent of so many humans gathered in one place was like a giant buffet. Sure enough, more and more beasts began charging toward the hospital. Even Long Tianxing grew uneasy when he saw hundreds of them. There was no way one person could hold them all back. Just then, a military squad rushed over and set up guns and heavy artillery outside the hospital. A barrage of gunfire erupted, wiping out waves of low-rank beasts. The military captain continuously positioned his soldiers to intercept the horde from different directions. But then, a dark shadow appeared in the sky. In the next instant, The captain was snatched away. A long tongue wrapped around him and dragged him straight into the monster's mouth. A cloud of blood erupted as the captain was devoured. Long Tiansheng immediately activated the Beast Codex and discovered that the creature was an elite 1-star Mist Claw Frost Cicada. The elite beast had more than 5,000 points of strength and over 2,000 points of speed. The military squad opened fire, but their weapons could not harm it at all. Suddenly, a whistle echoed through the area. A masked man dressed in black combat gear had appeared on top of the Frost Cicada. He was wearing the uniform of the Ancient Beast Society. With a casual leap, the Frost Cicada crushed several soldiers beneath its body. At the same time, Long Tiansheng felt something sticky wrap around him. He was instantly sealed away from the surrounding world, and could only watch as the Frost Cicada tore through the military squad. Gritting his teeth, Long Tiansheng formed a hand seal and ordered the blood-patterned Savage Turtle to activate Blood Burn and charge the Frost Cicada. Looking down from above, the masked man said, "Long Tiansheng, you're somewhat interesting. Unfortunately, you're still far too weak." Just as the Frost Cicada was about to drag Long Tiansheng into its jaws, a terrifying wave of sword energy tore through the air. The monster's tongue was shredded as easily as paper. Long Tiansheng stared at his rescuer in disbelief. It was none other than his adoptive father, Lin Changfeng. Long Tiansheng was completely stunned. He could not understand how his adoptive father possessed such a powerful aura. Every slash Lin Changfeng unleashed carried overwhelming power. He drove the Frost Cicada backward again and again, quickly covering its body in wounds. Long Tiansheng watched in disbelief. An elite 1-star beast was comparable to a military centurion, yet it was completely helpless before his adoptive father. The masked man stared sinisterly at Long Tiansheng and revealed that he possessed more than one beast. He then summoned an evolved transcendent 3-star Flame Toad. The Flame Toad gave the blood-patterned Savage Turtle a disdainful look, instantly enraging it. They were both pond creatures, so who did this toad think it was, looking down on? The Savage Turtle took all the frustration it had suffered against the Frost Cicada and unleashed it on the Flame Toad. After a few smooth combinations, it flipped the toad onto its back. The Savage Turtle then slashed open the Flame Toad's belly. The masked man stared in horror, unable to believe that a transcendent 2-star beast could defeat a transcendent 3-star opponent. In the next instant, the Savage Turtle charged straight toward the masked man. He tried to summon the Frost Cicada to save him, only to discover that Lin Changfeng had already dismembered it. The Savage Turtle swatted the masked man away with one paw, shattering nearly every bone in his body. However, it deliberately left him alive under Long Tiansheng's orders. Even after collapsing, the masked man began laughing wildly. The true horror hasn't even begun. Every last one of you will become a sacrifice for the ancient beast's arrival. The moment he finished speaking, a destructive aura suddenly erupted. The masked man had activated an explosive talisman on his body. A wave of sword energy shot into the sky and overwhelmed the blinding white light. When the explosion ended, the entire surrounding area had been leveled. Blood trickled from the corner of Lin Changfeng's mouth, immediately alarming Long Tiansheng. However, his adoptive father merely smiled and said an explosion of that level was not enough to hurt him. Long Tiansheng found the man he called Dad increasingly impossible to understand. Before he could ask any questions, the ground began violently shaking as if some enormous creature were rolling beneath the city. Remembering the masked man's final words, Long Tiansheng immediately wondered whether an ancient beast was truly about to awaken, and whether everyone in the city would become its sacrifice. At that moment, an alarm sounded across the entire city. A celestial radiance rank beast disaster had appeared in Jiangcheng. All residents were ordered to shelter indoors until the threat was eliminated. Long Tiansheng's heart sank when he heard the words celestial radiance rank. In the entire Linjiang province, the number of people capable of fighting such a creature could be counted on one hand. Was Jiangcheng truly doomed? Even Lin Changfeng's expression gradually turned grave. Lin Changfeng solemnly instructed Long Tiansheng to remain at the hospital and protect his adoptive mother. He would investigate the disturbance himself. With that, his figure rapidly disappeared. Long Tiansheng could only return to the hospital entrance and continue standing guard. Moments later, an enormous shadow suddenly rose from the center of the city. It was a colossal ancient tree that seemed to cover the entire sky. Countless Jiangcheng residents hung from its trunk, their faces deathly pale and their bodies completely shriveled. Before Long Tiansheng could recover from the shock, a group of Enforcement Bureau officers rushed over and ordered everyone to evacuate to the nearest shelter. However, when Long Tiansheng looked back, a terrifying sword projection shot into the sky and collided with the massive Celestial Radiance rank ancient tree. Long Tiansheng instantly recognized it as his father's sword. Was his adoptive father actually planning to fight a Celestial Radiance rank beast? His adoptive mother merely nodded and said that once his father made a decision, he never changed his mind. Long Tiansheng sensed that his adoptive mother knew something. However, he had no way to interfere in a battle at this level. To better protect his adoptive mother, Long Tiansheng decided to enter the Ancient Realm training ground and increase his strength as quickly as possible. He opened the system panel and selected the 2-star Ancient Realm mission involving the Shadow Wolves. His objective was to kill 30 of them. Long Tiansheng summoned both contracted beasts. The blood-patterned Savage Turtle cleared the path ahead, while the Berserk Iron-Eating Beast protected him from behind. Shadow Wolves excelled at fighting in packs. To train the Iron-Eating Beast, Long Tiansheng ordered it to fight 7 or 8 wolves alone, while the Savage Turtles stood nearby as backup. After killing the 15th Shadow Wolf, the Iron-Eating Beast finally collapsed from exhaustion. The Savage Turtle took over and eliminated the remaining wolves, successfully completing the mission. Long Tiansheng received a bottle of Ancestral Reversion Serum and gained 1 additional use of Assimilation. To his surprise, the attribute rewards provided by his 2 beasts were calculated separately. Long Tiansheng gained another 10 points of strength, bringing his total to 160. He was now physically stronger than an ordinary Transcendent 2-star beast. The training ground also unlocked the higher level Legendary difficulty. Its completion reward was Legendary Grade Ancestral Reversion Serum, the exact item needed to upgrade the Blood Pattern Savage Turtle. The Legendary Dungeon also contained talent skills and powerful equipment. Gritting his teeth, Long Tiansheng spent 1 million on an entry ticket. The moment Long Tiansheng entered the dungeon, he found himself standing in a scorching desert. 2 missions immediately appeared before him. Mission 1 required him to kill 50 Transcendent 2-star Rock Crystal Demon Scorpions. Mission 2 required him to kill an elite Rock Crystal Scorpion Queen with a random piece of Rock Crystal equipment as the reward. After searching the desert, Long Tiansheng quickly located the Scorpion Swarm. Within moments, the blood-patterned Savage Turtle had killed 60 demon scorpions. At the same time, the enraged Scorpion Queen arrived and instantly locked on to Long Tiansheng. Even after activating Blood Ignition and fighting with all its strength, the Savage Turtle was knocked over in a single exchange. Only then did Long Tiansheng realize that the demon scorpions had merely been appetizers. Mission 2 was the real challenge. Just then, the system detected an elite beast and asked whether he wanted to activate the Mercenary Beast function. Long Tiansheng had no time to read the explanation, so he immediately pressed confirm. This function allowed him to summon spirit beasts he had previously killed inside the Ancient Realm as temporary fighters. The number available for hire was equal to the number he had already killed. When Long Tiansheng saw thousands of rift-fanged tigers and blazing tiger beasts listed on the panel, he assumed the Rock Crystal Scorpion Queen was already as good as dead. Then he discovered just how badly the damned system was scamming him. Summoning mercenary beasts cost 1 million each time, and they could only fight for 10 minutes. If a mercenary beast died, the next one could immediately replace it. In other words, as long as he had enough beasts and they died quickly enough, he could send his entire army into a non-stop war of attrition within those 10 minutes. Long Tiansheng did not hesitate. He immediately chose the Beast Wave strategy and spent 3 million to summon 3 blazing tiger beasts at once. After sacrificing more than 1,000 blazing tiger beasts, the Rock Crystal Scorpion Queen was finally exhausted. The Savage Turtle and Berserk Iron-Eating Beast seized the opportunity and launched their attack. After completing the mission, both contracted beasts received small attribute increases. Long Tiansheng's strength also reached 180 points, placing him well beyond an ordinary Tier 2 warrior. He also obtained a beast skill book called Scorching Flame Armor. This defensive skill was designed for contracted beasts with shells or armored exteriors. Scorching Flame Armor fused the beast's internal flames with its shell, transforming them into a layer of burning armor. It greatly increased defense, while also inflicting burn damage on attackers. Long Tiansheng immediately became excited. Wasn't this skill practically made for the blood-patterned Savage Turtle? He then examined the reward from Mission 2, the Flame Crest Scorpion Tail Blade. This weapon had been transformed from a scorpion's tail and could only be equipped by a contracted beast. After considering it briefly, Long Tiansheng handed the Flame Crest Scorpion Tail Blade to the Savage Turtle. He then challenged the legendary Ancient Realm again to continue increasing his strength. After leaving the Ancient Realm, Long Tiansheng immediately heard an argument. His adoptive mother was angrily pointing ahead, demanding to know why they were being denied supplies. The person facing her was an employee of the Jiangcheng Logistics Bureau and Long Tiansheng's ex-girlfriend, Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan said coldly, "You have no one to blame but your son, Long Tiansheng. No matter how much you argue, I'll never give supplies to worthless bottom-tier trash like him." Her words angered everyone nearby, but no one dared to speak up. After all, the Logistics Bureau controlled all the shelter's supplies. Liu Ruyan handed a large pile of supplies to the young Bai Lili and her younger sister. Bai Lili immediately shot Long Tiansheng's adoptive mother a smug look. Bai Lili bragged that her younger sister had already been selected to join the Logistics Bureau before even graduating. Everyone nearby looked at the sisters with envy. Several people began flattering them, saying both sisters were destined for comfortable lives. Long Tiansheng's adoptive mother clenched her fists and angrily snatched several packages of supplies. Zhao Shengjiang, the muscular man distributing the supplies, immediately grabbed her wrist. At the same time, Bai Lili raised her hand and tried to slap her. Just then, Long Tiansheng stepped in front of his adoptive mother. Liu Ruyan was about to lecture him when she suddenly realized who was standing before her. Liu Ruyan's voice turned shrill with fear. She could not believe Long Tiansheng was still alive. Although Liu Ruyan had been eliminated early in the entrance exam, she knew that the exam had become a meat grinder. She had been certain Long Tiansheng would die inside. Long Tiansheng wasted no time talking. He slapped Liu Ruyan to the ground with a single strike. Seeing this, Zhao Shengjiang immediately released a powerful aura. Everyone nearby backed away in fear. A strength-type Tier 3 warrior was already considered a near top-tier fighter in Jiangcheng. Zhao Shengjiang coldly offered Long Tiansheng and his mother one chance. If they left the shelter immediately, he would spare their lives. Otherwise, they would die right there. Long Tiansheng was so angry that he laughed. He asked who Zhao Shengjiang thought he was. The man merely handed out supplies, yet he was throwing his weight around as if he owned the entire shelter. Seeing Long Tiansheng remain so defiant, Liu Ruyan began gloating. She was certain he had just brought disaster upon himself. Sure enough, Zhao Shengjiang stopped talking and threw a powerful punch. Long Tiansheng took only half a step backward before firmly blocking it. Zhao Shengjiang finally understood and sneered. No wonder Long Tiansheng was so arrogant. He had apparently become a Tier 2 warrior. Liu Ruyan tried to warn Zhao Shengjiang, but he had already attacked again. Golden light surrounded his fist as it came crashing toward Long Tiansheng. The nearby Enforcement Bureau officers could no longer remain silent. They demanded to know why Zhao Shengjiang was using a combat skill against an entrance exam candidate. Green light flashed through Long Tiansheng's eyes as the beast space appeared behind him. The ferocious, blood-patterned savage turtle emerged, now equipped with an enormous scorpion tail. Everyone assumed the turtle was about to suffer. Instead, Zhao Shengjiang released an agonized scream as the heat burned an entire layer of skin from his hand. Before Zhao Shengjiang could react, the enormous scorpion tail swept toward him and sent him flying. The moment Zhao Shengjiang got back up, the razor-sharp tail was already suspended before him. Its extreme heat seared straight through his chest, leaving him too terrified to move. The entire shelter fell silent. A student who had only just passed the entrance exam had completely dominated a Tier 3 warrior. In truth, Long Tiansheng was the most surprised person there. After being repeatedly tempered inside the ancient realm training ground, he suddenly realized that Tier 3 warriors were genuinely weak. Under the overwhelming pressure, Zhao Shengjiang immediately apologized. Long Tiansheng ordered the savage turtle to press its scorpion tail against the man's chest and coldly asked exactly what he had done wrong. Long Tiansheng needed Zhao Shengjiang to confess. Otherwise, if anyone investigated him for assaulting a Logistics Bureau employee, the situation could become extremely troublesome. Zhao Shengjiang was forced to reveal everything. He admitted that he had abused his authority to discriminate against Long Tiansheng and his mother. He also admitted that he should never have listened to Liu Ruyan and the Bai sisters and deliberately bullied them. Zhao Shengjiang confessed that he had caused the entire confrontation. Only then was Long Tiansheng satisfied. He had the savage turtle withdraw its scorpion tail, collected the supplies, and returned to his place. Everyone in the shelter silently watched Long Tiansheng. At that moment, he seemed almost like a god in their eyes. Just then, someone suddenly knocked on the shelter door. Everyone's heart jumped into their throat as Long Tiansheng steeled himself and opened it. To his surprise, the people outside were Wang Keishuan and Yu Qiyao. Several ordinary survivors were standing behind them. Wang Kaishan became extremely excited the moment he saw Long Tiansheng. He had also brought unexpected news. The traitor inside the entrance exam had actually been one of the patrol examiners. After being bribed by the Ancient Beast Society, the man had secretly wiped out several candidate teams. The corrupt examiner then framed the Yangqing team for the killings. Long Tiansheng immediately realized how serious the situation was. The Ancient Beast Society had clearly been preparing this plan for a long time. Both the Yangqing team and the bribed patrol examiner had been critical pieces of it. Wang Kaishuan felt his scalp go numb. He wondered whether more Ancient Beast Society members might still be hiding around them, even inside their current shelter. Long Tiansheng could not be certain. However, if the Ancient Beast Society had planned this for so long, there was no way only the obvious traitors were involved. Long Tiansheng suddenly looked at Yu Chuyao with suspicion. If he remembered correctly, she had only transferred to No. 1 Beast Taming High School 1 year earlier. Yu Chuyao blushed and quickly lowered her head. She explained that she had only moved to Jingqing because her father had been transferred there for work. Long Tiansheng was about to ask another question when Wang Kaishuan interrupted him, insisting that he should not suspect Yu Chuyao. They were classmates who knew each other well. Besides, Yu Chuyao was both timid and shy. How could she possibly belong to the Ancient Beast Society? Long Tiansheng gave Yu Chuyao a long look before putting on an innocent smile. He claimed the question had merely occurred to him, so he asked it without thinking. He then teased Wang Kaishuan for being so protective of Yu Chuyao. Could something be going on between them? Wang Kaishuan's face instantly turned bright red. He hurriedly insisted that he meant nothing by it, then dragged Yu Chuyao away to collect supplies. As Long Tiansheng watched them disappear into the crowd, he fell into deep thought. On the surface, Yu Chuyao was timid and vulnerable, with seemingly no connection to the Ancient Beast Society. However, the colossal tree demon and her verdant treant clearly shared the same origin. The two spirit beasts existed on completely different levels, but every evolution left traces behind. Since he had no solid evidence, Long Tiansheng could only keep his suspicions to himself for now. Outside, the battle between the military and the ancient beasts had reached its most intense stage. No one knew how long the fighting would continue. To increase his strength as much as possible, Long Tiansheng decided to use his final legendary ticket for the Ancient Realm training ground. Although he had already cleared the first legendary Ancient Realm, no new dungeon had appeared. However, the description of the existing legendary dungeon had changed. The mission was called Guardian Deity of the Ancient Western Sands Temple, Battle Saint Ape. Its rewards included 1 drop of Transcendent 2-star Ancestral Reversion Serum and a legendary Battle Saint Ape Cub. Long Tiansheng immediately became excited. This was a contracted beast rewarded directly by the Ancient Realm training ground. It could not possibly be the same as an ordinary beast purchased outside. He opened the Battle Saint Ape's description and discovered that its rank was unknown. It possessed a majestic physique and stood more than 300 meters tall. Its muscles looked as though they had been carved from stone. Its weapon, the heaven-battling divine staff, had been forged from immemorial divine iron. Golden radiance flowed across the staff, which contained seemingly limitless power. Long Tiansheng could barely contain his excitement. This creature closely resembled a legendary figure he had known in his previous life. Could it actually be the same one? A beast like this should easily earn a place on the heaven ranking. However, a line of smaller text below the description caught his attention even more. Contracted beasts rewarded by legendary difficulty would not consume one of a beast tamer's contract slots. Normally, a beast tamer needed 500 points of spiritual power before contracting a third beast. If Long Tiansheng cleared this dungeon, he would become the first Tier 2 beast tamer in history to possess 3 contracted beasts. At a critical moment, this would become his most powerful hidden card. With that thought, Long Tiansheng immediately entered the dungeon. He found himself standing on a narrow forest path. Ahead of him stretched an ancient road paved with smooth stone slabs. The sight of those carefully arranged stones immediately put Long Tiansheng on guard. Ferocious beasts did not build paved roads. This place clearly contained traces of human civilization. At the same time, the mission panel appeared and displayed the Battle Saint Ape's historical background. Long Tiansheng was stunned after reading it. Humans in ancient times had apparently been powerful enough to suppress even terrifying species, like the Battle Saint Ape. Weren't humans supposedly helpless during the era when ferocious beasts ruled the world? It seemed modern humanity might have misunderstood parts of its own history. Long Tiansheng followed the ancient road through the forest and eventually arrived at an ancient structure. The moment he entered, he discovered a statue holding a long staff. It looked identical to the Battle Saint Ape recorded in the Beast Codex. However, thick iron chains were wrapped around the statue's ankles. The longer Long Tiansheng stared at it, the more disturbingly lifelike it appeared. Just then, the statue's eyes suddenly turned golden. The stone shell covering its body began rapidly falling away. Moments later, the statue revealed its true form. This was actually a living Battle Saint ape. The blood-patterned savage turtle reacted instantly and shielded Long Tiansheng. A deafening impact followed, forcing the turtle to spit out a mouthful of blood. Fortunately, it managed to block the attack. The intense heat from scorching flame armor temporarily forced the Battle Saint ape backward. The berserk iron-eating beast then charged forward and unleashed Iron Fist Frenzy. However, the Battle Saint ape knocked the iron-eating beast away with a single swing of its staff. The savage turtle immediately followed up with a charge, knocking the ape off balance and sending it to the ground. It then performed a crushing body slam and sat directly on top of its opponent. The Battle Saint ape tried to dodge, but the iron chains around its ankles restricted its movement. Long Tiansheng immediately decided to activate assimilation for the first time. Long Tiansheng pressed his hands together and established a deep connection with the blood-patterned savage turtle. The beast's appearance and fighting instincts continuously surfaced in his mind. As the assimilation deepened, Long Tiansheng's skin and back armor began changing. He also inherited more and more of the savage turtle's attributes. When the assimilation reached an ultimate rating, Long Tiansheng gained 50% of the savage turtle's base attributes and 30% of its defensive attributes. He could also use its ordinary skills. Long Tiansheng then imitated the savage turtle and released a thunderous roar, causing his assimilation rating to rise again. He ultimately gained 80% of the turtle's base attributes and 50% of its defensive attributes. His strength skyrocketed from 200 points to 800. When blood ignition activated within Long Tiansheng's body, his strength instantly tripled again, reaching 2,400 points. Long Tiansheng charged the Battle Saint ape with blood armor charge. Two blood-patterned savage turtles were now fighting the ape simultaneously. The berserk iron-eating beast somehow found a pile of scrap metal and began devouring it. Once it entered a fully berserk state, it immediately rejoined the battle. Long Tiansheng seized an opening and bit down on the Battle Saint ape's wrist. Roaring in pain, the ape began fighting back with everything it had. Long Tiansheng endured the pain and tore the staff from its hand. However, while he was still dizzy and disoriented, the ape punched him away. At that exact moment, the assimilation ended. Long Tiansheng returned to his badly bruised human form and realized how close he had come to being killed. If Long Tiansheng himself died, the dungeon challenge would immediately end in failure. The system notification finally sounded. Long Tiansheng had completed an advanced rating, allowing him to permanently retain 10% of the blood-patterned savage turtle's base attributes. He gained 140 points of strength, 16 points of speed, 10 points of spirit, and 30 points of stamina. Only then did he realize that assimilation could permanently preserve attributes. Long Tiansheng's strength surged to 430 points, placing him close to the level of a Tier 3 warrior. Meanwhile, the Battle Saint ape's combat power had fallen dramatically after losing its staff. The savage turtles soon found an opening and injected a huge amount of fire poison into it with the scorpion tail. Before long, the Battle Saint ape collapsed. The system announced his first successful kill, bringing the total progress to 1 out of 10,000. Although the ultimate objective required 10,000 kills, the first successful kill had already triggered a milestone reward. Long Tiansheng gained 1% exploration progress in the Ancient Realms Secret Zone, along with an ancient Earth-grade warrior skillbook, the Heaven Battling Divine Staff. Faced with this overwhelming amount of information, Long Tiansheng became increasingly excited. Only now did he truly understand how valuable the Ancient Realm training ground was. Just 1% of exploration progress had rewarded him with a warrior skill book. It was even an ancient Earth-grade skill, meaning it was at least as powerful as any modern Earth-grade technique. Long Tiansheng then examined the transcendent 1-star Battle Saint ape. It possessed a 100% ancient-grade bloodline and had mastered basic staff arts. Although the ape could not yet display the Heaven Battling Divine Staff's true power, its current staff was already comparable to a mystic-grade artifact. Its 4 core attributes then appeared before Long Tiansheng. He could barely believe what he was seeing. The ape had already surpassed 200 points of strength at Transcendent 1-star. It was truly monstrous. Long Tiansheng suppressed his excitement and prepared to advance the Battle Saint ape to the next star level. A normal star advancement required 5 bottles of Ancestral Reversion Serum, while Rapid Ancestral Reversion required 6. Long Tiansheng did not hesitate and invested all the fluid he had. The Battle Saint ape successfully completed its Ancestral Reversion. It advanced to Transcendent 2-star. and its bloodline reached 100% primordial grade. The evolved Battle Saint Ape stood roughly 10 meters tall. Its muscles became even more developed. Its features grew rougher and more imposing, and it began radiating the presence of a beast king. The new Battle Saint Ape had mastered staff mastery, upgraded its weapon to a refined iron staff, and awakened the talent skill Heaven and Earth Manifestation. After activating Heaven and Earth Manifestation, it could transform into a giant roughly 10 meters tall, while increasing every attribute fivefold. The ape's 4 evolved attributes appeared before Long Tiansheng, nearly making his eyes pop out of his head. The Battle Saint Ape had only just reached Transcendent 2-star, yet its strength had already surpassed 1,000 points. If it activated Heaven and Earth Manifestation, that number could break through 5,000. The Battle Saint Ape instantly became the strongest contracted beast under Long Tiansheng's control. Long Tiansheng discovered that only a few minutes had passed in the outside world. He then found his adoptive mother and told her that he wanted to go outside and investigate. Before Long Tiansheng could finish speaking, his adoptive mother immediately refused. In her eyes, he was too young and inexperienced, and his strength was nowhere near enough to change the course of the battle. Wang Kaishuan also tried to stop him. Even Tier 4 experts were at risk of dying outside. Tier 2 beast tamers like them could barely survive on that battlefield. Yu Chuyao joined in and urged him to stay, but Long Tiansheng had already made his decision. His adoptive father was still somewhere outside. Even if Long Tiansheng could not make a major difference, there was no way he would hide inside the shelter. Other beast tamers contracted ordinary spirit beasts. Long Tiansheng had contracted a Battle Saint Ape that looked almost exactly like Sun Wukong. The creature was officially classified as an ancient calamity beast, but its appearance and abilities were unmistakably similar to the legendary Monkey King. That was why the first thing Long Tiansheng had done after contracting it was evolve it to Transcendent 2-star through ancestral reversion. Now, he was ready to take it outside and tear through the enemy. His adoptive mother still firmly opposed the idea. Long Tiansheng looked at her and said, "When the nation is in danger, every person has a duty to defend it. Hadn't everyone risked their lives in the entrance exam and struggled to become stronger precisely so they could fight when humanity's survival was at stake?" His words deeply moved the surrounding Enforcement Bureau officers. One of them told Long Tiansheng to go help. As long as his mother remained inside the shelter, the Enforcement Bureau would guarantee her safety. Long Tiansheng saw genuine respect and sincerity in the man's eyes. He then raced toward the disaster zone without looking back. Far too many innocent people were still waiting to be rescued. Long Tiansheng soon discovered that the Celestial Radiance rank tree demon in the city center had turned completely blood red. Its branches were covered with the drained bodies of Jiangcheng residents. Wang Kaishuan was horrified. The official casualty report listed 70,000 victims, yet the number of bodies hanging from the branches alone appeared far higher. No wonder everyone said a Celestial Radiance rank ancient beast was impossible to resist. Suddenly, a disturbance in the distance caught Long Tiansheng's attention. Several people dressed in white were herding a group of civilians into an open area. The tree demon's branches immediately swept forward and drained every last drop of their life essence. Long Tiansheng's eyes burned with rage. These were the monsters of the ancient beast society. Long Tiansheng's group quietly followed them, waiting for an opportunity to rescue the remaining civilians. Along the way, the blonde-haired man asked their leader, Brother Wang, whether the operation could truly succeed. Brother Wang revealed a cruel smile. The more people they sacrificed, the greater the chance of fully awakening the ancient beast's bloodline. They soon broke into a house and forced all the civilians outside. Anyone who resisted was killed on the spot. Long Tiansheng ordered the Berserk Iron-Eating Beast to launch a surprise attack, instantly killing one of the society members. Brother Wang noticed and charged over, his gauntlets glowing with power. Brother Wang was a pugilist, a combat class that only Tier 4 warriors could unlock. He immediately punched at the Iron-Eating Beast, but the creature had already turned and fled. The pugilist's true opponent was the enormous iron staff swinging straight toward his face. Brother Wang hurriedly blocked the attack. When he saw his opponent, his heart skipped a beat. Standing before him was a monkey with a furry face and sharply protruding muzzle. It wore clothing similar to a human, yet radiated the savage aura of an ancient beast. Unable to understand what he was facing, Brother Wang could only launch a cautious attack against the Battle Saint Ape. The ape evaded him with ghost-like movements while counterattacking from unpredictable angles. Within moments, Brother Wang had been beaten bloody. The Battle Saint Ape soon found an opening and smashed Brother Wang's wrist. His defense instantly collapsed, and the iron staff came crashing down on his head. Brother Wang died on the spot. The other Ancient Beast Society members were terrified. He had been one of the main leaders of the operation, yet he had been killed so easily. The remaining members tried to flee, but the berserk iron-eating beast and Battle Saint Ape blocked every escape route. After interrogating them, Long Tiansheng discovered that the Ancient Beast Society had deployed 7 teams. Their mission was to capture civilians and sacrifice them to the Tree Demon, awakening its ancient bloodline. When they learned that at least 300,000 people had to be fed to the creature, Long Tiansheng and Wang Kaishan both drew a sharp breath. These madmen intended to sacrifice the entire city of Jiangcheng. Enraged, Long Tiansheng eliminated every remaining society member. After calming the rescued civilians, Long Tiansheng prepared to search for more survivors. Instead, he encountered several injured teachers from other schools. Long Tiansheng immediately asked about the situation. One teacher explained that the rampaging spirit beasts had finally been brought under control, but the Ancient Beast Society was still sacrificing civilians throughout the city. Long Tiansheng offered to help the teachers defend Jiangcheng, but a female teacher firmly refused. She solemnly told him that she would never object to him serving Jiangcheng in the future, but the enemies they face now were far beyond what students like them could handle. The moment she finished speaking, a series of screams erupted nearby. The teachers immediately rushed toward the sound. Long Tiansheng followed from a distance. Inside a collapsed residential complex, a group of civilians was being herded forward by 3 demon wolves. Controlling them was a wanted, one-eyed wolf tamer known among the Ancient Beast Society as Brother Wolf. The beast tamer Zhang Haoquan solemnly declared, "Protecting Jiangcheng is our duty." Brother Wolf sneered, "What a coincidence. Destroying Jiangcheng is ours." As soon as he finished speaking, the 3 demon wolves surrounded Zhang Haoquan's contracted beast, causing the pressure on him to surge. The other 2 teachers immediately stepped in to divide the pressure. Brother Wolf merely waved his hand, sending 2 transcendent 3-star demon wolves charging toward them. Yu Lingfei fought back with her spear, but the demon wolf was far too fast. It caught the weapon in its jaws and dragged her to the ground. Zhang Haoquan was about to help when another beast's face appeared behind Brother Wolf. A massive wolf's head slowly emerged from the darkness. The Azure Shadow Battle Wolf stepped on the bull demon with one claw, then tore away half of the giant ant's body with a single bite. Zhang Haoquan's expression changed dramatically. This was an elite 1-star Azure Shadow Battle Wolf, powerful enough to crush most combat professionals at the same rank. Meanwhile, Yu Lingfei was nearly at her limit. Her spear was covered in cracks, and the demon wolf kept forcing her backward. Just as the wolf prepared to finish her off, a lazy pig suddenly rammed into it. Despite its tiny body, the pig sent the demon wolf flying several meters. Yu Lingfei quickly got back up. When she turned around, she discovered that Long Tiansheng and Wang Kaishuang had arrived to help. Another demon wolf seized the opportunity to attack, tearing through Yu Lingfei's armor with its claws. At the last possible moment, a crimson scorpion tail swept across the battlefield. Its tip pierced the wolf's eye, and a torrent of flames poured through the wound. The demon wolf collapsed on the spot. Only then did Zhang Haoquan realize that Long Tiansheng's supposedly worthless beast possessed terrifying combat power. Brother Wolf's heart bled at the sight. He might have been a tier 4 beast tamer, but raising a transcendent 3-star demon wolf still required a huge amount of resources. At Brother Wolf's command, every remaining Ancient Beast Society member and demon wolf charged toward Long Tiansheng and Wang Kaishuan. Even with her injured arm, Yu Lingfei remained in front of the 2 students and refused to retreat a single step. Long Tiansheng took the spear from Yu Lingfei and opened the system. He immediately learned the Heaven Battling Divine Staff technique. A vast amount of staff fighting experience flooded into his mind, allowing him to instantly master the first level to perfection. Long Tiansheng's blood energy erupted. Within only a few exchanges, he beat the charging Ancient Beast Society members bloody. The remaining enemies were badly frightened. Just then, an abnormally tall warrior carrying an enormous battle axe stepped forward. The moment he entered the fight, the axe warrior instantly killed Teacher Liu, who had been standing in his way. Everyone's expression changed. Yu Lingfei forced herself to remain standing and shouted for Long Tiansheng and Wang Kaishuan to run without looking back. Long Tiansheng felt his eyes sting. The Ancient Beast Society treated its own people as sacrifices, while these teachers were willing to die protecting their students. Long Tiansheng solemnly said, "Thank you for wanting to protect us, but we aren't flowers raised in a greenhouse." Wang Kaishan leaned toward Yu Lingfei and quietly reminded her that Brother Long had just wiped out an entire enemy squad by himself. When Brother Wolf saw Long Tiansheng approaching, he revealed a vicious grin and ordered the axe warrior to kill him immediately. Long Tiansheng gathered all his power at his waist. The spear in his hand shot forward like a bolt of lightning. The powerful shockwave knocked the axe from the warrior's right hand. Long Tiansheng instantly changed direction and smashed the spear into his wrist. The intense pain created an opening. Long Tiansheng seized it and drove the spear straight through the warrior's chest. The battlefield fell completely silent. A newly graduated beast tamer had personally killed a Tier 3 warrior. Only Long Tiansheng knew that his raw strength was not enough to overwhelm the man head-on. However, his combat technique and weapon proficiency were already absurdly high. After watching his men fall one after another, Brother Wolf finally lost control. "You brat, you're dead." The Azure Shadow Battle Wolf immediately changed direction and lunged at Long Tiansheng. But then, a beast space opened behind him, and a massive iron staff came crashing out first. A golden Battle Saint Ape emerged immediately afterward. Its savage aura made everyone's scalp go numb. Brother Wolf ordered the Azure Shadow Battle Wolf to charge forward and devour it. The Battle Saint Ape merely gave the wolf a contemptuous look and curled one finger toward itself. The Azure Shadow Battle Wolf bared its fangs and lunged. The ape leaped high into the air, avoiding its jaws while smashing the iron staff toward its head. The wolf twisted around and bit at the weapon. The moment its fangs collided with the iron staff, two of them shattered. Everyone stared in disbelief. A transcendent 2-star beast was actually fighting an elite beast head-on. With a single thought from Long Tiansheng, the Battle Saint Ape roared toward the sky. Golden light erupted from its body as it instantly grew to nearly 10 meters tall. After activating Heaven and Earth manifestation, the ape's aura increased 5-fold. The terrifying pressure left everyone on the battlefield frozen in shock. Brother Wolf finally realized that this Battle Saint Ape was no ordinary mutation. He immediately ordered the Azure Shadow Battle Wolf to capture Long Tiansheng alive, so the Ancient Beast Society could take him back for research. The Azure Shadow Battle Wolf made a single mistake. The Battle Saint Ape instantly seized the opening and knocked it to the ground with its staff. In the next instant, the runes covering the iron staff lit up. The weapon rapidly expanded in both length and width, before crashing down with world-destroying force. The Azure Shadow Battle Wolf's body was torn apart on impact. Everyone watching felt their scalp go numb. A transcendent 2-star beast had killed an elite monster head-on. Suddenly, a deafening explosion came from the sky. Everyone looked up and saw an enormous wave of sword energy piercing the heavens before striking the tree demon like a nuclear weapon. Yu Lingfei and the others were overjoyed. Had a Celestial Radiance rank swordmaster entered the battle? Jiang Cheng might finally be saved. Long Tiansheng's mouth fell open, and he froze in disbelief. That was unmistakably the sword energy of his adoptive father, Lin Chongfeng. Suddenly, the tree demon released a deep growl, causing the entire city of Jiangcheng to shake violently. Countless branches and leaves surged toward Lin Chongfeng, forming a massive crimson storm that covered the sky. Lin Chengfeng merely took one step forward and shattered the entire storm. Long Tiansheng felt his blood boiling with excitement. His father was unbelievably powerful. At the same time, the sword energy surrounding Lin Chongfeng's weapon turned completely white. Even the space around him began to grow unstable. Sensing a fatal threat, the tree demon desperately fought back. However, wherever the sword energy passed, space itself appeared to be sliced apart. Every branch that touched the sword energy instantly crumbled into dust. The sky seemed to rain crimson blood. Lin Changfeng released a furious roar as endless sword intent crashed toward the tree demon. Amid a deafening explosion, the Celestial Radiance rank beast was cleaved in half. The resulting shockwave leveled the surrounding area. For the first time in what felt like forever, the people of Jiangcheng could finally see the sky again. Just then, an Ancient Beast Society member shouted that Lin Chongfeng had betrayed the organization. Their master would never spare him. The moment Long Tiansheng heard those words, he froze. His mind went completely blank. Everyone else knew his adoptive father as Lin Daiyu. However, Long Tiansheng knew that the man's real name was Lin Chongfeng. Long Tiansheng looked toward his adoptive father with a complicated expression. Although they were far apart, Lin Chongfeng seemed to sense his gaze and revealed a conflicted smile. Lin Chongfeng suddenly coughed up several mouthfuls of blood before disappearing. An ominous feeling entered Long Tiansheng's heart. That might have been the last time he would ever see his adoptive father. The Ancient Beast Society began retreating, and the disaster gradually subsided. The Military and Enforcement Bureau immediately started rescuing trapped civilians. Long Tiansheng returned to the shelter as quickly as possible. He desperately wanted his adoptive mother to reveal Lin Chongfeng's true identity. After a long silence, she finally told him that the secret did not only concern Lin Chongfeng, It was also connected to Long Tiansheng's true origins. Long Tiansheng's heart sank. He knew the secret his adoptive parents had hidden for so many years was finally about to be revealed. His adoptive mother slowly explained that his biological mother was named Ji Yan. Back then, she had been one of the most beautiful women in the entire Linjiang province. More importantly, Ji Yan's identity was far from ordinary. She had once been involved with the demon-suppressing great general, Long Zhenbang. Years ago, a complicated relationship filled with love and resentment had formed between Ji Yan, Lin Chengfeng, and Long Zhenban. Ji Yan eventually married Long Zhenban and gave birth to Long Tiansheng. However, when mother and son were captured by the Ancient Beast Society, Lin Chongfeng was the first person to risk everything to save them. The Ancient Beast Society had been plotting in the shadows for years. They clearly did not want Long Tiansheng to continue growing stronger. Long Tiansheng still felt an inexplicable impulse stirring inside him. His adoptive mother then handed him a note. The note contained the contact information of one of Lin Chengfeng's friends. That person could look after Long Tiansheng and preserve one final escape route for his adoptive mother. However, his adoptive mother shook her head and refused to leave. She intended to wait there for Lin Chongfeng. Otherwise, he would worry when he returned and could not find her. She then gathered a point of energy at her fingertip. With one casual swipe, she sliced straight through the nearby wall, leaving Long Tiansheng completely stunned. His adoptive mother pulled him into an embrace and explained that Ji Yan had never abandoned him willingly. She had also been forced to hide her true strength all these years. She had originally wanted Long Tiansheng to live safely as an ordinary person. But now that so many people had discovered how extraordinary he was, he had no choice but to continue down this path. The strength his adoptive mother displayed left Long Tiansheng shaken. Even so, he still could not understand the mysterious scheme she had mentioned. Could even someone as powerful as his adoptive mother not protect him? It seemed Long Tiansheng truly needed to leave Zhengcheng and experience the wider world. Several days later, the school held its graduation ceremony. Many students had remained near the entrance exam zone during the attack and had fortunately avoided the Jiangqing disaster. The principal announced that the admission quota would be expanded for this year's entrance exam. A total of 30 students would now be accepted, immediately exciting the entire crowd. In previous years, even the combined quota of all three high schools had never reached that number. Long Tiansheng suddenly realized something. He looked around the crowd before silently lowering his head. Wang Kaishuan noticed it as well. Exactly 30 candidates had survived the entrance exam. This year's survival rate had been the lowest in history. No wonder the authorities had introduced such a generous admission policy. Wang Kaishuan was about to point it out when Long Tiansheng stopped him. Everyone was immersed in the celebration, and preserving that happiness might have been the entire purpose of the arrangement. After the graduation ceremony, Long Tiansheng and Wang Kaishuan were summoned to the principal's office. The moment they entered, the principal commended their actions. After all, the two students had successfully stopped Brother Wolf's group from carrying out their mass sacrifice. The principal then solemnly warned Long Tiansheng to take the secret of killing an Ancient Beast Society elite to his grave. Otherwise, the society might come after him once he left Jiangqing. The two students were then led into a hidden passage and followed a dark underground corridor deep beneath the school. This was the school's underground treasury, which contained numerous beast skill books and powerful pieces of equipment. Wang Kaishuan's eyes immediately lit up. He asked whether everything inside belonged to them, nearly making the principal hit him on the spot. The principal snapped that the school was nowhere near as rich as the Wang family. Each student was only allowed to choose one item. After looking through the overwhelming selection, Wang Kaishuan chose an Earth Element Beast skill book. Long Tiansheng selected a staff made from an unknown material. After all, he would need a suitable weapon whenever he assimilated with the Battle Saint Ape. The principal's face nearly turned green when he saw the choice. That staff was the treasury's greatest treasure, a top-tier Earth-grade weapon. However, the principal had already given his word. He could only endure the pain and let Long Tiansheng take it. Several days later, the bus to Linjiang City departed under the protection of the Flame Dragon Special Task Force. Some students who wanted to show off refused to crowd onto the bus. Instead, they followed behind in private cars, convinced that this was somehow safer. Just before departure, Su Qing unexpectedly stepped onto the bus. Everyone inside immediately stared at her. No one expected the famous Princess Su to squeeze onto the same bus as the rest of them. Su Qing ignored every other passenger. She walked straight to Long Tiansheng and Wang Kaishuan's row and took the window seat. Their section of the bus instantly became the center of attention. Wang Kaishuan wondered why Su Qing had not taken a private car. Long Tiansheng jokingly asked whether she had given up a comfortable ride just so she could sit beside him. However, the smile on Long Tiansheng's face gradually froze. Su Qing was staring directly at him while slowly leaning closer. When their faces were less than 20 centimeters apart, the entire atmosphere inside the bus became strangely intimate. Su Qing leaned toward Long Tiansheng's ear. For an instant, he could even feel her warm breath brushing against it. In an extremely quiet voice, she asked whether he had really killed a Tier 4 beast tamer from the Ancient Beast Society. Long Tiansheng's heart tightened. The principal and several teachers had repeatedly warned him never to reveal that information. Long Tiansheng turned slightly toward Su Qing, bringing their faces even closer. Her cheeks immediately turned pink, and she nervously pulled away. At the same time, a murderous glare landed on Long Tiansheng. He had no time to apologize and could only change the subject. Long Tiansheng hurriedly said, "Su Qing, you're joking again. How could I possibly kill a Tier 4 beast tamer?" Su Qing rolled her eyes. Her expression made it obvious that she did not believe a single word. From everyone else's perspective, it looked as though Su Qing had kissed Long Tiansheng before he turned and kissed her back. The entire bus erupted as everyone began wondering when the two of them had gotten together. Someone bitterly complained that a penniless nobody like Long Tiansheng had somehow latched onto the governor's daughter. Countless people had tried to approach Su Qing, yet none of them could even get their foot in the door. Some students began claiming that Long Tiansheng had only passed the entrance exam because he was involved with Su Qing. They pretended to be impressed, but jealousy was eating them alive. When the bus reached its halfway rest stop, something unexpected happened. The Flame Dragon Special Task Force was also eating there. Lin Yue, the female member Long Tiansheng had once criticized, was reenacting the entire encounter for her teammates. Long Tiansheng curiously walked over and discovered that she was imitating the way he had scolded the task force. Lin Yue openly copied his resentful expression, claiming the student had looked at her as if she were an ex-girlfriend who had dumped him. She then copied Long Tiansheng's tone. "What's the point of joining the Flame Dragon Special Task Force if it can't even protect Jiangcheng?" A male member coldly asked which student had been so arrogant. If he ever met the brat, he would definitely teach him a lesson. Long Tiansheng immediately grew nervous and turned around, hoping to quietly escape. Unfortunately, Lin Yue saw him the moment she turned around. A mischievous glint flashed through her eyes as she rushed over and grabbed his clothes. Long Tiansheng possessed 500 points of strength, yet Lin Yue dragged him over as easily as if he were a helpless chick. Lin Yue pointed directly at him and announced that this was the student who had questioned the task force's ability to protect Jiangcheng. Long Tiansheng felt as though his head might explode. He could only force himself to greet everyone. A towering man immediately approached him. His massive body resembled a small mountain as he demanded to know whether Long Tiansheng had called the entire task force useless. The man's accusations became increasingly ridiculous. He claimed Long Tiansheng had called them garbage, incompetent, and a waste of national resources. Long Tiansheng immediately looked at Lin Yue. The devious smile on her face made it clear that she had deliberately exaggerated everything. Long Tiansheng felt his scalp go numb. He knew he was in serious trouble. Faced with the entire task force's attention, Long Tiansheng did not stubbornly defend himself. He chose to clear up the misunderstanding first. Lin Yue dragged him before the group. Everyone expected him to stand by his earlier attitude, but Long Tiansheng immediately apologized to the Flame Dragon Special Task Force. He explained that he had not understood the true situation during the Jiangcheng disaster and had unfairly blamed them. Lin Yu quietly explained that the task force's life was not as easy as outsiders imagined. They had done everything they could, yet the casualties had still exceeded all expectations. She promised that they would continue growing stronger and protecting Jiangcheng. As she finished speaking, tears rolled down her cheeks. The surrounding task force members also fell into painful memories of the disaster. A middle-aged captain approached and said that Lin Yu had told him how Long Tiansheng defended an entire hospital and protected many survivors. The captain said Long Tiansheng could try joining the Flame Dragon Special Task Force in the future. He then smiled and asked whether Long Tiansheng would still refuse this time. Long Tiansheng scratched his head and awkwardly admitted that if he ever had the chance, he would definitely join. Lin Ye watched him leave with a sly smile. Long Tiansheng swaggered back to the table, holding an invitation letter. Everyone immediately began looking at him differently. Very few people secured their future careers before even entering an academy. However, Su Qing quickly brought him back down to earth. The Flame Dragon Special Task Force sent invitations to students from major academies every year. Only 1% of those candidates were actually accepted. The available positions were extremely limited, and every competitor was an academy elite. Long Tiansheng's brain nearly short-circuited. He had only received permission to take the selection exam. No wonder Lin Yue had been smiling so deviously. Suddenly, a mocking voice shattered the peaceful atmosphere. Some people were simply ignorant. Even if they passed the entrance exam by luck, they were still frogs trapped at the bottom of a well. Everyone turned and saw Bai Lili walking over beside Liu Yanri. Bai Lili mocked Long Tiansheng for mistaking a common examination invitation for an official acceptance. A frog at the bottom of a well would always remain ignorant. Anger flashed through Long Tiansheng's eyes. Remembering what had happened inside the shelter, Bai Lili immediately hid behind Liu Yanrei. She cried out for young Master Liu to protect her, claiming Long Tiansheng wanted to hit her again. Liu Yanrei had been waiting for an opportunity to show off. He immediately summoned a fox covered in blazing flames. The surrounding students were surprised. Even Wang Kaishuan and the others stared in disbelief. It was a swallow-tailed demon fox. Liu Yanrei had evolved his contracted beast to Transcendent 3-star. No wonder he had suddenly found the courage to provoke Long Tiansheng. The Flame Dragon's Special Task Force watched the drama from the sidelines. One member noted that their intelligence had been correct. Liu Yanrui's strength had already reached the upper tier among his peers. The middle-aged captain was pleased and considered Liu Yanrui a promising talent worth watching. However, Lin Yue clearly disagreed. Lin Yue shook her head. "I don't see it the same way." Feng Xisong immediately became interested and proposed a bet. If Liu Yanrui proved stronger, Lin Yue would become his girlfriend. If Long Tiansheng won, Feng Xikong would give him his prized upper-grade mystic rank spear. With her fiery temper, Lin Yue could never tolerate that kind of provocation. She immediately accepted. Feng Xikong called out to Liu Yanrui, promising him a transcendent 3-star evolution potion if he defeated Long Tiansheng. Liu Yanrui briefly froze. He knew Feng Xikong had placed him in a difficult position, but this was exactly what he wanted. Liu Yanrui promised not to disappoint everyone. He would give Long Tiansheng a brutal lesson. Furious, Lin Yue shouted that if Long Tiansheng defeated Liu Yanrui, she would also give him a transcendent 3-star purification fluid. Long Tiansheng was not impressed. One bottle of purification fluid was not enough to make him fight, so he demanded 2 spirit-nourishing pills instead. Lin Yu's expression immediately darkened. However, to win Feng Xikong's mystic rank spear, she ultimately agreed. On the battlefield, Liu Yanrui smiled contemptuously. This time, Long Tiansheng would not be saved by luck. The blood-patterned savage turtle and berserk iron-eating beast appeared together. Everyone finally understood his confidence. Long Tiansheng possessed 2 transcendent 2-star beasts. However, his current opponent was no ordinary low-rank contracted beast. Feng Xikong remained unconvinced. He refused to believe 2 transcendent 2-star beasts could defeat the swallow-tailed demon fox, and asked Lin Yue for her opinion. Lin Yue was not entirely confident either. Losing 2 spirit-nourishing pills meant nothing to her, but Long Tiansheng's chances looked terrible. If she had to become that playboy's girlfriend, she would rather die. Liu Yanrui ordered the swallow-tailed demon fox to charge forward and burn both of Long Tiansheng's beasts to death. Long Tiansheng immediately ordered the savage turtle to smash straight through it, refusing to give the fox enough distance to attack. The savage turtle shot forward. Magma-like liquid began flowing across its shell as an even more terrifying heat erupted from its body. Its scorpion tail struck at the same time. The swallow-tailed demon fox reacted in alarm and twisted its body away from the attack. In the next instant, an enormous shadow appeared above the fox. The savage turtle and iron-eating beast attacked from opposite directions, completely pinning it down. Liu Yanrui's expression turned ashen. How could a transcendent 3-star beast be suppressed by 2 transcendent 2-star opponents? Then, something even more horrifying happened. The crimson scorpion tail pierced straight into the fox's skull and injected burning magma. The swallowtail demon fox released only 2 screams before going completely still. The entire area fell silent. The transcendent 3-star swallowtail demon fox had died, just like that. 2 transcendent 2-star beasts had forcibly killed a transcendent 3-star opponent, and the swallowtail demon fox was no ordinary trash beast. The Flame Dragon's Special Task Force members were the most shocked. Feng Xikong clutched his head, unable to believe what he had just witnessed. Lin Yue excitedly rushed over and wrapped Long Tiansheng in a huge hug. Long Tiansheng suddenly felt a chill run down his back. Su Qing was staring at him with an icy expression. He quickly redirected both women's attention by reminding Lin Yue about the 2 spirit-nourishing pills she had promised. Long Tiansheng silently told himself that he had never asked Lin Yue to hug him. None of this was his fault. He warned Lin Yu not to use a hug as payment for the pills. Lin Yu pouted in annoyance. Long Tiansheng also realized that someone who casually carried items worth tens of millions could not possibly be an ordinary task force member. A young task force member laughed at Long Tiansheng, saying even this cunning brat had moments of stupidity. Even if Long Tiansheng ate those expensive pills like candy, Lin Yue could easily afford them. Understanding the hidden meaning, Long Tiansheng snorted. No matter how rich Lin Yu was, could she possibly be richer than Su Qing? Everyone immediately turned toward Long Tiansheng. Had he already latched onto Su Qing, the ultimate wealthy heiress? Was that why he looked down on a minor rich girl like Lin Yue? This was enormous news. The surrounding male students wanted to tear Long Tiansheng apart on the spot. Long Tiansheng simply turned and left without explaining. Su Qing frowned slightly. Making jokes at her expense would only come back to haunt him later. The convoy resumed its journey and traveled for 7 days and nights, before finally reaching Linjiang City. The students began heading toward registration in small groups. Not far away, several new followers stood around Liu Yanrui, glaring at Long Tiansheng with open hostility. Liu Yanrui's eyes were blood red as he silently swore that Long Tiansheng would pay for everything. After several twists and turns, Long Tiansheng's group finally arrived at Long Yuan Advanced Beast Taming Academy. A towering statue of a beast tamer stood in the center of the plaza. The figure stood proudly, with deep, solemn eyes. Phantoms of various divine beasts circled the enormous statue, as everyone wondered who the statue represented. A clear female voice suddenly came from nearby. The voice explained that this was one of the Academy's legendary former principals. He had reached the Celestial Radiance rank before dying in battle deep within Longyuan. A smiling senior student with red hair approached them. She introduced herself as Tu Yaki, a second-year student specializing in the wind element. Tu Yaki then welcomed the new students to Longyuan Advanced Beast Taming Academy.